Check.
Oh, does that mean we're live now?
Yes, it does.
Wow.
We are live.
Good morning, Northwest Indiana.
Something. You go ahead. You do the thing. I was getting ready.
Do the thing? I don't even know what you're doing, man.
So you say, good morning, welcome.
Well,
it's
I know
Monday.
what to say. You're over there fib-flopping
I was
around.
looking. So, again, chaos with Jim comes in. I said,
you
Jim,
are
go
listening to WJOB 1230 AM 104.7 FM here in rustic Hammond, Indiana.
I like how you say
Chuck and Jim are futzing.
Look this way, though. That's you got to extend this over your face. That's the problem with this microphone. When you look that way, we can't hear you.
Oh, I think people can hear me.
Okay, that's fine. Don't listen to me. What do I know?
No. We're about to get into
You're off axis.
Chuck is right answer.
No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah,
no, not until Jim comes in.
Yeah.
If I was right, I would remember my pen. But go ahead. Okay, so let's do traffic and weather. See, tell him to wait. Would you like to do traffic and weather on the phone or?
I can't hear the show.
Oh, okay. You supposed to? I'll do it live. Hang on.
See, bring me in as a phone call so you can hear me.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Ooh.
No, you got. Hang on. Sorry, hang on. We got to route the outputs. Hang on. Why don't you? Oh, did I? No, now. See, you got to remember to make sure that.
No.
Hang on. So that's an input. So can you hear us though? We are live, but that's your.
All right, everyone. So we're going to do traffic this morning. Whether or not you're hearing it is beyond my current abilities. Everything in Northwest Indiana is looking just fine. Everything's green. Scrolling up to the Chicagoland area, everything looks just amazing. It does. You all know I'm no good at traffic, but yeah, it's looking fine this morning. We'll hop over to weather.
I got weather. Hold on.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Jim, are you on?
Good morning, everyone. Today, sorry, there's an ad. Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 35 degrees with highs of 66 and lows of 40. Should be becoming windier and warm with periods of sun. And then tomorrow and Tuesday we'll be having highs of 57 and lows of 52. Should be mostly cloudy. And then Wednesday we'll be having highs of 69 and lows of 37. With a couple of morning showers and a thunderstorm. Otherwise breezy and warming with clouds yielding to sun.
So I think you're going through on the YouTubes.
We are on YouTube.
I think I heard you on the YouTubes. It's the radio and the phones and the Zooms that they're working for.
Let me jump in here.
You know, we run the mornings off of you callers here and try to point the direction. Every night, whether I'm doing this on Fridays with Adriana or on Mondays with Chuck, the text conversation the night before is, hey, what do you want to talk about? We get a list of things. But inevitably, 5-10 minutes in, it goes sideways as all you callers call in and talk about what's on your mind. And that's what drives the show, because if you don't call in, then you have to listen to us. We do have a pretty I'm excited to have him on at 7:05, 7 o'clock, 7:05-ish. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith is going to be calling in, and we're going to have him for about a half hour to talk about the Chicago Bears, school protests. Chuck's got a handful of questions for him, so it'll be nice to get an update from Indianapolis, and we'll see what's going on with that. Someone asked, are they using a rotary phone? Yes, I hear the rotary phone.
No, that would actually work if we did it that way.
It's a new sound effect that Lynette has been working on for weeks.
I don't know where Jim went, though.
He ran.
He ran off? Because we're sending a signal to him, so he should be hearing us. So what are you hearing, Jim?
Nothing.
We hear you.
So, you guys hear me on the air? Hear me on the air now?
Barely.
I hear something on the air right
Yeah,
now. Hang on.
barely.
So hang on.
Hearing me from
Nope.
All right,
That's
that
what I was
sounds
afraid
good.
of.
So we're
Okay.
gonna move along.
No, I have a plan. Why don't you sit with him and do radio like you like to do, and then let me fix this. I have another idea.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez, take a short break. Hit a commercial break, and we'll be right back. Testing one. There you go. All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. We'll get it going. Chuck Pullen is going to mastermind this whole thing.
It's going to be like Doc Brown from Back to the Future, just holding the cables together for the rest of the show.
Wait till next Monday.
Hey, we got the same. Hey, look at that. We got like the same shirt on today.
There you go. Hey, wait till next Monday because part of the issue is that we have built a brand new studio and we're going to move over the weekend. What do you think our chances of being on the air on Monday morning are?
100%.
Stop.
No, 110%, and it's going to look amazing. It will. And you know why? When I left on Friday, it worked. When I came back today, it didn't.
Well, Chuck and I, we rewired everything.
Yeah,
over the
I
weekend.
heard.
And it should be better sound. It should be better sound of what people are hearing, which was the ultimate goal. And you should be getting better sound on like the Purdue games and the IU games. And right now, except for my cold. But let's take a short break, and we'll be right back on the Voice and Face of the Region.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Dragon Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
For over 100 years, Roofers Local 26 has been keeping Northwest Indiana dry and safe. Since 1919, our highly trained members have built a reputation for skills, safety, and reliability. With a 4-year apprenticeship and certifications in OSHA safety, first aid, and CPR, we deliver quality you can trust. When you need roofing done right, choose Roofers Local 26, protecting what matters most for over a century. For more information, visit www.roofers26.com.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
Hey, everybody, I'm the traffic guy this morning, 290. Where's that echo coming from? Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. All right, hey, taking a look at traffic, 294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks good. Bishop Ford into the gut of the Southland, that looks pretty good all the way up. Skyway Toll Road, Borman, I-65. Part of the issue is that it is President's Day, and you can expect it to be pretty light all day long. And we are doing some major reconstruction over the weekend here, this weekend and next weekend. And with the weather right now is Lynette Lopez. There you go. Yeah, she needs to get up there. And can you turn that speaker off there, Chuck?
I don't think so.
You don't think you can? All right, good enough. All right. Keep going. In terms of the weather, it's, 35 degrees right now, Lynette?
Yes, good morning, everyone. It's 35 degrees right now with highs of 66, lows of 40. It's going to become windier and warmer periods of sun today. And then tomorrow on Tuesday, we'll be having highs of 57 and lows of 52. Should be mostly cloudy. And then Wednesday, we'll be having highs of 69 and lows of 37 with a couple of morning showers and a thunderstorm. Otherwise, breezy and warmer with clouds yielding to sun.
He's Bob Starkey. I'm Jim Deedlow, and I've been called in to sit here this morning. And
I think you were told to literally just go there, sit, put a microphone in front of your face, do radio, don't touch anything.
Hey, is there any major thing going on that it kind of hits you right now? And I got one that I covered over the weekend, and I wasn't going to talk about it till tomorrow. But
well, this morning I wanted to. I was looking at that where I get most of my news, where I find news is I will be just doom scrolling social media, and this you're going to look at me like I'm crazy here. I'll be doom scrolling social media, and when I start seeing memes and reels and things starting to light up, that's when I perk up. That's when I decide, okay, what's important? Because there's so much information I can't pay attention to every a bill in the U.S. Senate, every House bill down at the State House. So the big one over this weekend was the SAVE Act. And I started noticing it when, and you can tell there's certain dog whistles out there that as soon as they start going off, I'm like, okay, somebody's attempting to push a narrative here. And I started seeing there was a representative from Pennsylvania saying 75% of Pennsylvanians will not be able to vote now. The new number is there's 69 million women in the U.S. are now ineligible to vote. A bunch of numbers that just sounded, bat crap crazy to me. I don't know where they were coming from, and so the SAVE Act is the you must be a U.S. citizen to vote. And first off, I don't know anybody who would have a problem with that. I don't know what the issue with that would be. If you're in the U.S., voting in a U.S. election, you should be a U.S. citizen. So the SAVE Act requires that. Now, I think where some of these crazy numbers, like 75% of Pennsylvanians can't vote, is how do you prove proof of citizenship? Yeah, real IDs, I don't even think prove citizenship. You hear me? No, I don't hear you. But things like birth certificates and passports do. And so I think that's where.
There we go. There you go. Okay.
There you go. That's where some folks are saying, oh, well, now you need your passport to be able to vote. I don't know if they're going to now go back into voter rolls and clear them all out and require everyone to re-register.
Here we go. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Way low.
Okay, so I hear Ron, right? You guys kind of hear him, right?
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, how are you, sir? Good morning, sir.
Turn it down slightly.
I'm working on it. We're doing it live.
Hey, Matlock, we rewired everything. You're the first caller, okay? Were you at the train station or something?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll use that one. There we go. Try that. Hey, buddy.
You can hear his TV in the background. No, he's got the radio on.
Might be us.
Hey, Ron, how are you?
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Do you have the radio on?
No, that's us, I think.
Hello.
Yeah, do you have the radio on in the
Can you hear me?
background? Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
He can't hear me now.
Can you hear us?
No, he cannot.
Ron, can you hear us?
Nope.
Hello, Ron.
Hello.
Hello.
Can't hear us. So it is what it is.
I tried, everyone. I tried.
All right. Well,
I brought in
hang
a
up
topic,
on him, and we're gonna
Ron, we'll figure this out.
We'll call him back. All right. There you go.
You're about to drop us.
Yeah, there you
No,
go.
don't want to drop
it
us.
again.
Drop him.
Yeah, drop him up there. So.
Let me. We'll go back to the SAVE Act in a second. A lot of you know I've been coming here more, doing the radio. I've been getting really into this. I enjoy it. It's a bug. I have a big sign. There's an office not too far off the studio where we're at, and I've taken over a desk, and I've got all my wires, all my cables.
By the way, it's so messy. Your desk. Over there? Is that the one over there?
No, not that one. The one back there that has a big sign that says "Bob's stuff don't touch."
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's very
was
clean.
people touching it?
Well, I don't want them to touch it, and do you know why?
Why?
Because then we're going to end up like with Monday mornings like this.
Well, I'm okay with. I mean, I know it sounds a little bit hectic, but the number one thing is that we're setting it up for the next, hopefully the next decade. And one of the reasons I came in is to thank you and Chuck for all the work you guys are doing on it. And you deserve a desk. How's that sound?
I deserve a desk.
Yeah.
I stole one of them. I don't even think I asked for it. I think I
You just
stole it.
kind of took it, but that's okay. Hey, all right, let's look at your Save Act talk, okay? I looked at that over the weekend too, okay? Just from being kind of a more of a sports junkie, but also a news junkie. And I like to read Forbes. Forbes says this: proponents of the SAVE Act say the bill will help non-citizens from voting and protect federal elections from fraud and abuse. But opponents point out that the bill is trying to solve a problem that does not actually exist. It's already illegal for non-citizens to vote, and research finds that 0.04% of voter verification cases are returned as non-citizens. So, I mean, you're talking less than 1 in 10,000 or something like that. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying, that, hey, it just should be citizens. But, I mean, when do we go after a problem that doesn't exist? You know what I mean?
And I think, yes, it is currently illegal for non-citizens to vote. But somehow, some way, there's some mechanism where they're getting registered to begin with. And I think the SAVE Act is to stop that process also. So to stop them from being able to register to vote, so then they can't, so that they can't vote, which again is illegal, but they're still doing that. We even have, if I'm not mistaken, we even have a few cases here in Northwest Indiana where we have illegal citizens who have voted. So the question is, we've got how many millions of people already registered to vote? They passed the SAVE Act. Now what? Do they then go back through the voter rolls and they say, because the big push now isn't even, okay, now that the SAVE Act is going through the system, isn't even the illegal voting. It's now women who have gotten married and divorced, who have had name changes, their names may not match their birth certificates, in which case they will need their marriage licenses, divorce decrees. They'll need a whole bunch of paperwork now in order to register to vote. So my question was, is everyone going to be required to re-register to vote to prove they're a citizen? And I go back to the question where Indiana, for a while, we have a weird frame of reference here in Indiana. We've required an ID to vote for a very long time. And there's, I don't know, maybe a dozen states that don't require a physical ID. And for whatever reason, the left has always pushed back on that. And they've said, look, it's not possible for everyone to easily get an ID. And it could be my perspective, my frame of reference. I don't understand why.
Well,
I mean, what is, and I'm perfectly fine. I would say we'd take a call, but, Professor Chuck's over there with the wires. I would love to hear a real reason why, folks say, well, you can't make people get IDs because that's, a bunch of people can't. And I just don't understand that.
So here's what Forbes, by no means a left-wing publication, Malcolm Forbes, I used to read him as a young businessman, young trader. I used to read him every week. And one of his main things was very similar to a famous Warren Buffett quote, is that every once in a while you have to just trim your costs. And it's all about cost and making you stay alive, basically, in business. And I took that as a 27-year-old trader and listening to Malcolm Forbes. And he's just like, just concentrate on keeping your costs in check, and then you can stay in business long enough till you figure out how to make money. Basically, that was his whole business philosophy, and I loved it. But anyways, out of Forbes, the reality is that the Save America Act would prevent far more citizens from being able to vote than it would serve to block the rare incidents of non-citizens from voting, which don't impact election outcomes. I think what you're talking about is a larger issue, and that is that going into these midterms, the Republicans your party is in trouble, and we all know it by all the numbers, because there's because kind of the erratic behavior mostly of Donald Trump, and that has caused problems all the way down. So you got to figure out different ways to kind of win the game, and I'm all for that. I mean, I'm like, I tell people, I go, oh, you know what? Why could we just change it where we're changing those districts? I'm like, I'm just going along with it, because if you're in charge, you make the rules, right? And that's how it is. But there are also guidelines that are like kind of principles that, once you start going against it, you may say, all right, well, we got the SAVE Act in there, and it might piss people off more than it actually tries to get them to do good. It's like what happened here in Indiana when they turned back the Trump-led energy to try to change Frank Mervan's district that's here.
Redistricting, yeah.
Yeah, and redistricting. And I thought from the beginning that was going to be tough here. And part of it is there's a lot of people like you and me. We don't really like to be told what to do. You know what I mean? In Indiana, it's a weird thing, You go down anywhere in Indiana, it's like people just are like, hey, man, just leave me alone. But, I don't want you to tell me what I have to do.
And I don't understand, because knowing a fair amount of legislators, one of their biggest issues that they have is we don't like when the federal government tells us to do things, which is something I remind them when they come up with some harebrained idea to tell municipalities what to do. I say, listen, as much as you don't like D.C. telling you what to do, we don't like Indianapolis telling us what to do, which goes to your point. In India, we don't really like people telling us what to do. We like our little home rule. We like that, but then that's where it ends.
Well, your town especially is not prone to this, but works on that. I mean, actually, a lot of specific towns in Indiana. You're right. The federal government's trying to tell Indiana what to do, and they're like, "Come on, man, we're not going to redistrict. This is silly. We're not doing it." I know one maybe winning one more congressional seat may be the difference, but not at what cost, you know what I mean?
Well,
and then, but then the same thing happens. Like, you're going to have Micah Beckwith in here. Micah Beckwith, and, he's kind of a little bit out there sometimes on the establishment of Republicans. But from what I could tell, one of those things is he's like, just let me do what I want to do with my church and what I want to do with my why are we regulating this and why are we regulating that on economic things? But when it comes to social things, he wants to regulate, who can marry who and all that kind of stuff. But I agree. There's so many towns around here, Democrat and Republican, that are like, dude, just leave us alone. Don't tell us what to do, but at least give us enough money for our schools. And
for our
that's
schools,
a problem.
For our roads. I know Indianapolis just took away millions of dollars from the local municipalities for our roads. You look at that CCMG grant, the Community Crossings grant, that has sustained every Northwest Indiana community for the past 6-7 years. Every municipality was getting $1 million. They recently bumped it up to $1.5 million, and they're matching grants. So, I mean, you're looking at communities like Dyer, Schererville, St. John, Griffith, Munster, any of these places getting $1.5 million. They match it $1.5 million, so $3 million worth of investment going into the roads. They took that away. Yet we are still getting one of the highest gas taxes in the country. They're talking. They say they're talking, but they are going to toll the roads. And for anybody listening, if you want a really fun exercise, when they say, "Oh, we're not going to toll different things," it's not. Here's a good exercise. There is a GIS portal on the Lake County website. I think you just look up Lake County GIS, where you can find all the different parcels of land in Lake County and see who owns them. Go to Dyer, right on Route 30, click on the parcel next to the Dyer Town Hall, and you will see that the Indiana Tollway Commission owns that. So if you think that there isn't plans at some point in time for them to even put tolling gantries over 30, I'm telling you, there's a half a dozen of these across the state where they go into border towns and they have these little parcels of land that are owned by the Tollway Commission. That's another rant.
Actually, I mean, you're getting right to like, where's home rule? Where does it begin and where does it end?
Yeah.
I'm with you. It's like, for the most part, I'm just like all of my like very Republican, Trump-leaning relatives all across the state of Indiana. It's like, I just don't want to be bothered, right? Whatever it might be. Whatever, you don't want to be told what to do. There's another one that's coming from the state that I think people don't really realize, and you're right. Is that if you go to IndianaFlexRoad.com, I went to this
for the flex tolling?
went to this meeting, and the Indiana State Board of Highways or whatever, the INDOT.
Yeah.
They held a big thing, and they're like, all right, we're going to tell you what we're going to do. They were supposed to start in the fall ripping up the center lane and getting rid of the center lane for now because they have to put in basically high-speed internet and some other infrastructure stuff in the middle of the road, okay? And then from the state, actually from a little bit in Illinois, which is like, I think, where the 390, where you go up, so a little bit past Torrance, all the way to I-65, they're going to rip up the whole road, and they're going to make it the most computer-driven road in America. In other words, they're going to have every half mile, they're going to have this massive White Sox-sized billboard, and it's going to tell you what you can do in each lane. Each lane's going to have its own speed limit, and there's not going to be a side lane in case you have problems. All the lanes are going to be open.
And they can change flow on that.
Yes, you can have, like, I think as many as 8 lanes going one way. I can't remember the exact specifics of it, but it will be a little bit like driving from Chicago out to O'Hare on the what is that road? That is not what's the road that goes from Chicago downtown to O'Hare? What highway is that?
Hey, good morning, caller. You're on the air. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. See if that worked. Are you talking about the like 290?
No, just the big one, Kennedy. Taking a Kennedy.
Hello. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
I hear somebody.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, barely. He's going to adjust. Can you keep talking? Hey, tell us about where you were born, okay?
I was born in L.A.
All right, can you go a little bit longer for like a minute so we can adjust your audio?
At first, I was born in L.A., and I basically was glad to be an American. I just celebrated my 79th birthday this past weekend. Yesterday was my birthday. Hard Rock seemed fit to give me a Royal Best Steakhouse in America, and we appreciate that, giving me that. As we move forward in terms of voting you're talking about,
yeah,
I'm pleased to know that we got a lot of people on the roads. I'm about trying to increase participation. Right now, Lake County, Indiana, had a 30% turnout. So, again, there's no fraud. There's only fraud when you don't win.
Hey, Ron, can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
So those other 60% of people, do they not have a driver's license?
Pardon me?
Do the other 60%, the people that aren't voting, do they? So hang on, he should be able to hear me. Do you hear me? Hey, good morning. Do you hear me at all?
Hello?
I'm going to turn myself. Check. Hey, how is that? How about that? Is that too loud? How's that? Hello?
He can't hear you.
You can't hear us?
Okay.
Hey, wait.
You know
Hold on a second. Ron, can you hear me?
I could hear you, and you could hear me.
Yeah,
But
but
he can't hear me.
He can't hear you.
Maybe he's ignoring me.
You can't hear me?
He can hear you.
All right, I'll tell you what, Ron. Is that echo? Do you have your radio
No,
on?
it's not him. It's us.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're working on that.
All right.
We'll do it live.
So I'm just simply saying, since we could hear each other, I just said that this thing, when 60% of the people in Lake County, and that has to do with Democrats and Republicans. I've been a precinct committeeman for 25 years, and I see a lot of people there. Now, why aren't you voting? I say, because basically what they're trying to do, they're trying to purge you anyway. The way they do that, and actually I wish that Michelle Feynman would call in and say how fair it is. That she is the chairperson of the Democratic, vice chair of the Democratic Party, and she's also in charge of the voters registration thing. And she could call in to say what I'm saying is true.
Hey, Ron, can you hear me yet?
Yes, I could hear you.
See, now you can hear me. Okay. Well, Ron, my question was, okay, so we live in a state that already has voter ID. You're saying that we have 30% voter turnout. Is that because the other 60% don't have a valid driver's license?
No, that's not true. They fed up with the system. They said it don't make a difference. Now, come on, let's get it straight.
No, so I'm asking. So what is going to get them to vote? Is getting rid of voter ID law going to get them to vote, or is getting different people in office or running for office?
What they're doing? This is nothing but a Republican, I should say, scammer trying for redistricting, trying to get the people who are eligible to vote. We're going to redistricting, and you said it, Jed. They didn't want Frank Mervan in there, and if they could redistricting, they could probably cut him out.
So doesn't it become problematic, though, when both sides are doing it? California, Virginia, for instance. I mean, both sides are doing it, but you blame the Indiana Republicans.
Who started the fight? The fight.
I mean, redistricting. Have you ever looked at like the Illinois state, like the Illinois state rep, the gerrymandering in Illinois? I mean, again, you could say, well, they started it. No, it's been going on forever.
Okay, I'm just simply saying, do you accept? I think a lot of times they are asked the candidates when they ran for president or whatever, will you accept the results? I have yet to hear Donald Trump say he would accept the stuff.
Okay, but Ron, Hillary over the weekend said that it was Russian. Yet again, years later, is still saying that it was Russian collusion and Elon Musk that got. So again, both sides, Ron, both sides. Hillary just said it over the weekend.
But I'm saying the Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America is basically saying that there's fraud going on. Now, what they're trying to do. They trying to reduce that 60% to 70% of people who don't vote. And right now, you have an election going on in Illinois. It started, I believe, this last week.
Can I ask? Here, let me ask another question. Do you know anybody personally that cannot vote because they do not have a driver's license?
I don't know anyone.
And I have yet to. And Ron, again, this isn't a talking point. This is a Chuck thing. I have been asking this for a decade. I said, does anybody know anyone without a license? Because if you do, I will take them to the DMV. I will buy them a license, and I will buy them lunch right now today. Because nobody in the last 10 years of debating this issue has found me a single person that doesn't have a license. That's the problem. It's hyperbole. It doesn't exist.
It's my understanding that. You don't have some people don't have license.
Who is it though?
Voter thing or the state. You go to the license bureau and indicate you're John Doe, and give your address, and that's sufficient.
All right, hey guys, I'm going to cut you guys both off. Thanks a lot.
We appreciate the call, Ron.
We appreciate.
But again,
call. Hold on a second.
Go ahead. There's going to be a little echo. We're going to buy a box on Amazon. It'll be delivered at 5 o'clock, and it will fix the problem. But in the meantime, this will work.
All right.
No way you guys are going to be on screen, all three of you.
No, that's fine. We don't fit anyway.
Why can't all three of us?
Because we're wide. It's a wide. We need to go wide.
Yeah, it's a wide group.
We need to get the wide body lens. We need a fisheye about 6 foot up.
This is what I love about live radio, and I always have. Mm-hmm. It's just, it just goes on. People, that's so unprofessional. Not really. It's just whatever happens in real life comes onto the air, right?
Isn't this more fun doing it this way than having it fixed at 10 o'clock last night? I mean, come on. So, but again, that goes back to my point, though, is that for years and years, there's been these talking points about the voter ID. I'm like, can you find me one person ever that doesn't have a license, and I will buy them their ID. I will help them.
What does that have
But
to
I'm saying
say
that's
anything?
a talking point that has that it's imaginary. It's an imaginary talking
It's
point.
an imaginary problem right now.
And that's what I'm saying. Well, both sides are it's an imaginary, again, this idea that government creates problems and then gives you the solution. You're creating imaginary problems. There's imaginary solutions. There's these imaginary people that can't vote. There's these 69 million women that lost the right. Again, it's all imaginary, and all of it is to distract you from the fact that we're $38 trillion in debt. I mean, and everything. And that, I was listening to George Carlin over the weekend. That should be required listening in high school, like in politics. I'd be like, here, we're going to listen to Carlin today because he could teach you things that no teacher can. It's like, look, all of this is a distraction and from the fact we have to take a break. So why don't we do that? We'll take a break. We'll reset. We'll be back with more.
Reset? The whole thing needs to be reset.
I know. Get a gas can and some matches. We'll reset it.
Gosh.
Do a hard reset. Okay,
You're
we'll be
listening
back.
to WJOB 1230 AM 104.7 FM, where it worked on Friday, here on Monday mornings with Chuck and Bob and Jed and Lynette. We'll be right
and
back.
LT and Larry the K and all kinds of the cavalcade of friends.
Isn't Larry the K coming?
He is if you get up and give us
Where
some
is he,
space.
here now?
He'll be here in a little bit.
All right.
He might be outside
7:30.
waiting for us.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
Introducing Powers Health, a health system with a new name and a strong legacy of caring for families in our community. One with a tradition of advanced specialized services and a vision for the future. One with a commitment to medical excellence and compassionate care. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors bring the highest standard of electrical work to Lake County homes, schools, and businesses. From everyday fixes to once-in-a-lifetime builds, we don't just get the job done, we get it done right and up to the highest safety standards. When you need electrical work, hire the professionals who power Indiana. Powering Indiana, Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community.
AM 1230, WJOB 104.7 FM. And I am Jim Tiedlow, just sitting here, not really. I forgot who I was for a second. Hey, 294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks good. Bishop Ford, Dan Ryan, Skyway Toll Road, Borman, I-65 are all moving along well. Lynette Lopez with the weather.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 39 degrees with highs of 66 and lows of 40. It's going to be, another ad. It's going to become windier and warm with periods of sun. And then tomorrow on Tuesday, we'll be having highs of 57 and lows of 52. Should be mostly cloudy. And then Wednesday, we'll be having highs of 69 and lows of 37 with a couple of morning showers and a thunderstorm. Otherwise breezy and warmer with clouds yielding to sun.
Does that sound odd to you guys? 69 high in February?
Nice. No, it's nice. It's nice.
It's what do they call it? The false spring?
Yeah,
fall spring?
Isn't that what they call it?
I don't know if I've ever heard that.
Yeah, no, the tease.
Hey,
the spring
I'm going to
tease.
thank
You
you
have one
for
thing to say.
asking me to come. Like
We didn't, but
We didn't
You
play
just-
the tape.
I was desperate.
you literally
you
told
did.
me to come in here.
The desperation from Chuck.
First of all, I want everyone to know we're going to we had some troubles this morning, and we'll probably have some troubles on next Monday morning. To be
No,
honest
we
with
won't.
you.
We'll, it'll be amazing.
We built a brand new studio, and we'll be moving everything on Saturday into that. And we, in anticipation of that, we did some work over the weekend. Chuck and I did, and
and Mike,
Bob Starkey,
mostly Mike,
and Mike
me.
Sinicki, and
You
a
told
bunch
us
of other
to
people.
go.
But I want to say thank you to you, Bob. You've done some amazing work, and once this is all done, I know that you'll be able to take some great pride in this brand new studios here. So thank you. Are you going to say you're welcome?
You're
Or
welcome.
what are you going to say?
I appreciate you. Yeah,
What do you want to say about that?
I've been having a lot of fun, and I'm surprised that you constantly just allow me to come in here and futz with things, and I'm
better
having fun
you
with
than
it.
him, but
Well, I mean, there's no way.
And just for clarification, none of this morning's futzing was my doing.
No, that was me and Chuck over the weekend.
Yep.
I
typical
was
politician. Like I had nothing to do with it.
Here, I was here
If
till
it worked out, I take credit for
10
it.
o'clock, and Chuck and I were working on it till late, until Chuck finally said, hey, I got to go to do a radio morning show. And for you give so much to the radio station and to keeping it going. I mean, honestly, these are, it's been difficult times for like local radio in general, but we've been able to make it work partly by people like you, too, that make it, that it would cost me an arm and a leg to get that kind of work and get that kind of stuff done. So I just want to make sure I thank you.
Well, yeah. Well, then start trusting me more.
See, you know what made me think that I don't know how this relationship got going, but when you said the other day on the radio, you go that I'm your longest relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? You're one of mine, too.
Well, there you
I mean,
go.
we've been doing this for almost, I don't know,
Over 15 years.
Yeah, over 15 years. But next Monday will be the first day in a brand new studio here, and how do you think that's going to go?
Mm-hmm. I'll plan Sunday night to be available.
All right, man. I'm going to get out of here and test the Zoom for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just go leave your credit card over there because I got to buy some stuff. Or Alexis's credit card or whatever.
This morning brought to you by Frickin' Frack.
Take your little pad
Yeah,
here, too, because I'll be too tall. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Chuck. Wow, that was a 44-minute show start delay.
Are all those people on hold?
They are.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Go ahead. Let's power through some calls. Good morning, caller. Let's see if we can hear you.
Over 15 years.
Go ahead. Good morning, caller.
Next Monday will be the first day in a brand
He's listening to something. What are you listening to?
How do you think that's going to go?
He's listening to YouTube, I think. Good morning, caller.
All right, man.
Can't be that delayed.
Get out of here and
Let's just sit here. Hang on.
leave your credit card over there. I got to buy some stuff.
Is it that far delayed? It couldn't be.
This morning brought to you by Frickin' Frack.
Good morning, caller. Don't curse, please. You're on the air. Good morning, caller. Hang on. Let me hear. For some reason, they say they can't hear me.
Wow, that was a
Check. Is that me here? Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Am I not up there? Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Check. So why is this here? Let me try this. Yeah. Hang on. What?
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
You listening to something? What are you listening to?
Good morning, caller.
He's listening to YouTube, I think.
See, okay, so he should be able to hear me because there's the levels.
Can't be that delay.
Good morning, caller.
Let's just sit here. Hang on.
Go to a different caller. That's a good idea. Let's try this one. I don't want to take this one. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
You talking to me?
Yeah. Are you hearing me? You talking to me?
Well, now it's actually
Now he's going to say it's
the
too loud.
audio
Go ahead.
that I hear through an actual old-timer radio is exactly what I'm hearing into the phone right now, except I cannot hear Chuck coming through my phone at all. The
You can't
only
hear
way
me.
I can hear Chuck is through the radio earpiece.
You don't hear me at all. You don't hear me?
On the
Check.
phone,
You don't hear me?
I can only hear you because I've got an earpiece in, hooked up to
Hang on. There we go.
over-the-air radio.
Okay, so you don't hear me right now. You don't hear me at all.
Not on the phone.
Not on the phone.
I can hear you on the radio.
Okay, let me check that. Let's do that live. Why not? Okay, so yeah, I know it's fun though. Here,
Hey, is Jeff still there?
check. Hey, can you hear me? Check. Now can you hear me? Now can you hear? See, there's input.
Not on the phone at all.
You don't hear me at all, but that's going out to you. So I don't understand why. So that's working. Check. And I'm going to turn.
There's actually on
check.
the phone,
Hey,
there is no audio coming out of my phone from WJOB.
there is no. Okay, well.
My phone is working as a microphone, and I am going out.
Okay, so I'm going to hang up. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hang up on you, and then I'm not going to do. Let's do that, and let's do that, and then let's reboot this computer while we're just reboot that, and then we'll try that. But it's looking like there's levels there, so I think that's a Chrome issue. But okay, go ahead. What's going on in your world, Bob? And then Jim's trying to do a Zoom, but we'll do that live too. We'll make that work.
Okay, so I thought we were going to have a great Monday. I was all sorts of excited. Wanted to talk about the SAVE Act for a little bit.
Go ahead, feel free.
Well, I think we've kind of beat that one up. I still debate whether or not illegal folks are voting and to what extent, whether or not it's a big deal. Someone's going to send us an article where it's like, hey, they caught 4 people out of, I don't know, Lowell. Oh, okay, 4 people. I don't know that always moves the needle. Although I will say, if folks remember, voting in primaries is important. About 10 years ago, there was a guy who lost, I think, by 2 votes. So,
right.
That was Eldon Strong. I
Right,
think.
correct, it was.
And so, for those folks that say, hey, my vote doesn't matter, to that 60, 70 some odd % that don't vote, that say, hey, my vote doesn't matter.
So the question becomes, though, is this a voter ID? I mean, honestly, if you're looking at issues, I don't think the voter ID is really the problem. I think just sort of the infrastructure. I mean, nobody was really saying it was because of people without IDs. It was that, the 2 a.m., what's going on, they close the curtains kind of stuff. So, I mean, that was what people were saying about the elections was, find me more votes and all that kind of stuff. So it had nothing to do with the voters themselves. It was just this sort of idea of, who's counting the votes and are the machines, being tampered with, and is Elon controlling the machines with Starlink? And so, I mean, again, there's
a huge population out there that says we need to get away from these voting machines. We need to go back to the ballot box with paper ballots. And I just think, is that not just the easier way to cheat? I don't get it, and that's on my side. There's a ton of folks on my side that say we need to get back to paper ballots.
Well, but I'm always seeing
But I'm
always seeing these videos of like, hey, the woman took the tub and put it under the table and then brought it out and then counted it twice. So I mean, again, there's always sort of these social media, these viral videos of, see, look, there's evidence of the woman counting, these votes twice and stuff like that. So I mean, again, I think it's more of a process question than anything. It's that both sides don't trust the other side for the process. And so what does that mean? I mean, that means we basically should just be out in public doing it, live on the town square, live on webcams, like here's all the votes, watch us live. You can have, I mean, it's crazy that, your average Walmart has 1,000 cameras, yet, where they're counting the ballots has like one wide camera in the back of the room, right? I mean, that's sort of my problem with that.
So my question was, which you clamored onto that already, was whether or not you guys are all just chaos over here on this side of the studio. It's driving me nuts.
Okay, I know. I understand. You don't handle change well. I get it. Okay.
Folks, no, I don't handle change well. Friday it worked. Monday it didn't.
Headphones. So speakers are headphones.
So
that's that.
Who out there, I want to go back to the ID thing. They say, asking people, and that was the big argument against
Good morning, caller. You're on the
ID.
air.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Hello? Yeah, I had...
No, hang on. Mike, this is important, though. Hang on.
Before I heard the beep on my phone, Now I can hear all of you, and it sounds really good.
Okay, so hang on. So you
On
can
the
hear.
phone part.
Is it not too loud? I don't sound overmodulated. Everything sounds fantastic like that. How about that? You tell me. How does that sound to you?
Right now, whatever you did, turn it up just a pinch.
Okay, turn it up a pinch, he says. Okay, there we go. How about that? Just tell me I'm talking. Hey, good morning. How are you? How's that sound?
Yeah. How about Bob say something?
Breaker 1.
No, you got to say, Bob, say something.
Bob, say something. Dad, I'm hungry. Hi, hungry. I'm Dad.
How is that? Is that good for now?
It sounds real good. Sounds real good on the phone now.
Okay, there we go. And people say I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, good morning, sir. How are you?
Okay, I'm glad I had a full cup of coffee. When Jim was sitting there and the camera was on him, could you mention to him when he raises his coffee cup and takes a sip, take the tag off of it that he bought it or something? The tag was still on.
No, that's his tea.
No, that's his tea.
It says Lipton. It comes like that. You need it.
It's his calming chamomile.
I thought he was like.
Should share that with the rest of us.
Like that. I thought he's like that hillbilly lady, Mall Pearl Mall, that has tags on her hat.
Oh, that's an old one.
That?
That's okay. So, how are you this morning? What's going on?
Okay, well, I would like to complain about a lot of stuff, but I ain't because this world's a mess as it is, But I just want to say good morning to you guys, everybody. It's President's Day. People are off today, so it's a good, certain things are open, not open. But I've got to go get a student tested. But I got to take a student. I got to do my things. But like last week we were talking about the schools. I just, maybe this week or next week you'll get somebody from the city or the cities to talk about it, because simple reason, I've heard from some parents that if their child gets hurt on a protest and are forced to go out and protest, that they will sue the cities. I've heard many parents that are not liking this, that these students are going out there and standing out there protesting, and just wait till one student gets hurt and the parent sues.
Well, I mean, this is, so I was out there both days. Munster was protesting out on Ridge Road and on Calumet Avenue the last couple days last week. My son, Lake Central School, is supposed to do a protest tomorrow. So we've already had a conversation about it. I've said, look, I would appreciate it. I don't care if you're the only kid in the classroom. I would appreciate it if you don't go out there. And being the journalist son that he is, I go, no, I want to go out there and cover the protest. I go, okay, I can't say no to that. You have a First Amendment right to cover a protest. So I said, I said, I'll get you a press pass and just claim you're a journalist. But so I mean, Lake Central is going to be walking out tomorrow, and it's definitely a concern as a parent. Even after, I don't know if you saw this video out of, I think it was Lake Zurich, Illinois.
What do you have to protest about at Lake Central?
Not enough tacos at the school lunch bar.
I mean, come on.
But it's a valid point. I mean, that's a valid point. But my point, though, is, we saw this incident in Munster where the kids were fighting over the American flag. The kid in Lake Zurich got punched in the head because he had like a pro-ICE sign. So again, there's these, the one thing we don't need is more violence in the hallways of our schools. And that's a concern of mine is, things spill over quickly. So as a parent, that is definitely a concern of mine. So any other thoughts, Mike? We got to move on.
No, this weekend, 1st District Democrat Congressman Frank Mervan was out there with the protesters for BP.
He was at the USW protest.
Possibly going to go on strike. But was he over there at the NIPSCO protest that the people that have to pay their NIPSCO bill to keep their house and their kids and their family and everything warm, was he at any of those, or was he at that town meeting? No. He only went over there to make his big face show up and get a picture taken. That's the dumb Democrats. They only come out to where they're going to get their picture in the paper or hold a shovel and make themselves look good. Did Frank Mervan go to any meetings or try to sit down with the people and talk about the NIPSCO? No. He only goes to where, so he can try to. Now, there's another Democrat that I think is running against Frank Mervan, right?
Yes,
there
this
is,
lady,
and
right?
as it turns out, she does a show here on WJOB's at 11 o'clock today. Spark Speaks, and maybe at some point we'll have her on. Because again, I want everybody that's running for Congress to come on these airwaves and sit with us and take calls from you guys, and we'll see who does and
the
who
thing
doesn't.
Nice about that, the nice thing about that is she might take away some of his votes, and then all of our Northwest Indiana truckers that I've been associating with, which we're just disappointed with him. So they're going to pull a red lever. So maybe we'll finally get him out of
Okay,
office.
so
he's useless.
no, I got you. Okay, so I got you. We got to go. We're going to test. I appreciate the call.
we're gonna
go ahead.
test something
Okay,
again.
so Lynette, is he in Zoom? Why don't you bring Jim into Zoom? Go into attendees and see if he's there. Bring him in.
Says he's there. I don't see him though.
Well, because he doesn't know how to use Zoom probably. Pin and spotlight Jim. So click. You don't see him anywhere? Switch the view. Switch the view. Or is that you, Jim?
All I need to know is if you hear me on this.
Hang on. It's not turned up, though.
Test. All right.
Yeah, we hear you. Do you hear us? Do you hear us?
I hear you.
Okay,
and
thank you.
I don't know. Yeah, so everything's working good.
It is. Go back to the gym.
All right, thank you.
Do some
Bye.
push-ups for me. Okay, go ahead. And then hang up on the Zoom and then take a call. But, yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you. And then take a call, and we got to get the Zoom set up for our 7 o'clock. Okay, everything's working, Jim. We're good. Go to yoga. Okay, good morning, caller. You're on the air.
We'll just send him back to the YMCA pool with those noodles and a handful of gummies and just tell him to come back Friday.
Or
Not Friday. What's wrong with you, man?
There's a great show on Fridays. Have you not
Why
heard?
would you do that to me?
Well, I mean, Friday afternoon.
Okay, you can do the afternoon
okay.
show. That'd be
Yeah.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah, that works.
Okay, but we gotta go. So
And I thought we were buddies. I thought you were sending him in
He's
here
trying
on
to kick-
Monday,
okay.
Friday morning.
Then he can screw up that. Yeah. Then he can come back and screw up that nutmeg sports thing he's doing. What's
Okay,
it
we'll
called?
watch it.
Nutmeg or honeydew or
yeah, there you go. So what's on your mind?
fall harvest.
We got a
or-
couple minutes.
Yeah, raking the leaves or whatever. Hey, tell Rob Mailbox to call back. Who is the command-in-chief, or what does the command-in-chief actually mean? What the hell's he even talking
It's a
about?
new burger at the Waffle House.
That sounds
it comes with
fantastic.
a fried egg on top.
That's what I can't figure. Get a free watermelon with it, right, Ron? You knucklehead. All right. So anyway, yeah, in the state of Michigan and in the state of Wisconsin, between the two states, when Joe Biden allegedly won the election in 2020, they had over 100,000 mail-in ballots that only had one vote on it for president, not a single down vote. Now, can anybody find anybody on planet Earth that ever went to vote in an election that only voted for the top guy and then just checked no other boxes?
Well, and that
Never
goes
happened.
right. That goes back to my point about there are questions about the process, how things are being counted, and that goes back to we're focusing on
But Chuck,
the voter.
the Dow is at 50,000.
I don't know. Didn't it go
No,
down after that?
sorry.
I think it's at 49.
Jet
something.
fuel melts
Went up
steel.
and down,
Oh,
up
Don't
and down.
you start?
Sorry.
Don't you?
Yeah,
start.
there's nothing going wrong in a precinct in Gary when you only got 30 people registered to vote, and yet you got ballots for counting that were like 80. So they had double the number of people. How is that? How did you get a 220% turnout? Nah, then Dave from Gary will tell you, no, it rarely ever happens. Then you go out to L.A. and you find out, well, we might have had 7,000 voters from Mexico who don't have any IDs who voted in our last gubernatorial election, but yeah, there's no, and then he believes Forbes in terms of politics.
Okay,
Are you
so
insane?
it's 7 o'clock. You're
I'll
listening.
let you guys go.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Go ahead and hang up on him. Okay, callers, I apologize. We're going to hang up on you guys because we got the lieutenant governor coming in a few minutes. We got to take a break. But we will take your calls on the back end, I promise, at 7:30. We'll be back with more here on AM 1230, 104.7 FM in beautifully rustic Hammond, Indiana.
Ogren Insurance, Hammond's oldest family-owned independent insurance agency, now in its third generation providing clients in the Chicago area with products from quality insurance companies to handle your every need. Regardless of driving history, Ogren Insurance can find the right coverage for you at competitive prices. To learn more about the insurance solutions and services we offer throughout Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, call 219-933-0076 or visit our website, ogreninsurance.com. We're located at 6929 Homan Avenue in Hammond, Indiana. Do business locally with someone you know and trust.
For a fast and friendly car wash, go to Easy Clean Car Wash. Open 7 days a week in 4 convenient locations: Highland, Griffith, Cherville, and Lansing. Free vacuuming, air freshener, and a towel with every wash. It's fast, safe, and gentle. For more information and hours of all our locations, visit myeasyclean.com. Also, see how you can wash your car daily with our $10 Ultimate Wash for only $19.99 per month. Give your car the best clean at Easy Clean Car Wash.
From the gas in your car to the heat in your home and the roads that you drive on, our work powers daily life. We are USW Local 71, the proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery. We're not just refinery workers. We're your friends and neighbors, raising our families here, shopping in the same stores, and cheering in the same stands. USW Local 71, powering the region because we are the region.
Show your love this Valentine's Day and celebrate your special someone with Strachan Van Til's wide array of beautiful bouquets, plants, arrangements, and balloons. Need flowers for another occasion? We have that too. From everyday favorites to seasonal selections, all are handcrafted, personally designed, and artfully arranged by our floral designers. Weddings, school dances, events, funerals, anything you need, Strachan Van Til is here for you. Now that's something to love. Life made simple. Shopping made easy. It's a Strachan Van Til thing.
You're good.
Okay, we're back.
Yep.
7:05 here in the region. The winter of Chuck's discontent. Very discontented today, but we'll get through it. That's how live radio works. We've got the Lieutenant Governor joining us momentarily on Zoom, maybe, potentially. But in the meantime, let's take a look at traffic. Because of the holiday, not much traffic to report. I mean, really anywhere. Indiana's looking good. No accidents on I-65 this morning, so that's good. Slight delay when you're getting into the circle downtown. Other than that, things looking fantastic on the roadways. How's the weather?
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 40 degrees with highs of 66 and lows of 40. It's going to become windier and warm with periods of sun. And then tomorrow on Tuesday, we'll be having highs of 57 and lows of 52. Should be mostly cloudy. And then Wednesday, we'll be having highs of 69 and lows of 37 with a couple of morning showers and a thunderstorm. Otherwise, breezy and warmer with clouds yielding to sun.
Nice. Fantastic. Okay, let's go ahead and bring in the Lieutenant Governor, and let's see if he can hear us. And I don't know if you can – do you have the HDMI to put him on the air? It doesn't matter. We can just listen to him if you don't have the video. So good morning. LT, are you there?
Hey, what's going on? How's it going, Bob?
Hey, how are you? It's I'm here. I got Chuck with us, and if
Chuck.
if you hear a wonderful, better voice, that's Lynette in the background. She's our producer today.
All right.
So, sir, let me start here. As a libertarian, I rarely ask government for money, but in this case, as long as we're writing billion-dollar checks for sports teams, can we write a small check to this scrappy little 100-year-old radio station? Because I need some new computers. It's been
Chuck,
a rough morning.
Come on, man. That's not very libertarian of you, man.
I know,
Come
but
on,
it's
what are you doing?
I want to be part of the big club, my friend.
I mean, that was the same argument we said in COVID. Well, if we don't take it, Illinois will take it, so we might as well take it. And now we're
going to get in debt anyway. We might as well take it, right? Yeah, we're going to get in debt either way. Okay, how are you, sir? How are things in Indianapolis?
Good, doing well. Thanks for having me on today.
Okay, so there's a couple things going on, but I wanted to start with the big one because I think I wanted to start here. We were talking about this in the last hour, the SAVE Act and all this stuff. I was just Googling it. There's a little over 1 million married women in the state of Indiana. Would you like to go on record to let them know that you want them to continue voting, and at no point is the state of Indiana going to prevent 1.2 million married women from voting in the next election?
On the record, absolutely. I do not want this to be a barrier for married women to get out and vote. We want all married women who are eligible to vote to be able to vote and to be able to do it easily. We just want to make sure people are actually who they say they are. I mean, that's not too much to ask. I think that is a okay thing to ask in our society. We want to make sure people have citizenship and that they should be voting in the right elections that they're voting in. And after that, it's like, okay, let your voice be heard.
We've been talking about this for 10 years, and I always ask, I said, does anyone anywhere know a person without a license? If you do, I will take them right now to get them a license and buy them lunch. And I have yet to meet a single person that doesn't know how to get a driver's license. So again, I call this sort of a hyperbole issue that I have yet to meet a single person affected by this, but yet we're still talking about it.
Yeah, this is long overdue. I mean, no decent civilized society has any issues with this except for America. I mean, if you go to any other nation, they will demand all kinds of proof. They will make sure that if you do not live there, you cannot vote there. But for some reason in America, we just think we have to let the whole world vote in our elections because, I don't know, that's what the left says. But it's just dumb. I mean, it is not. It's not what our founders ever envisioned, and we need to secure our elections. And what the SAVE Act is doing is absolutely right, and it's long overdue.
Okay, so let's get on to the next big topic that I know you're anxious to talk about, spending $1 billion on Northwest Indiana. So we've got this thing, and here's, I want to back up a little bit because I'll tell you my opinion on it. I don't know if you were following.
Oh,
so,
hold up. The libertarian's opinion on
spending $1 billion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I'm against it. Okay. But anyway, so one of the things that happens.
Yeah, shocking.
One of the
breaking news. Breaking news.
One of the things that has happened historically up here is that when the Chicago Bears do not get their way, when they say, Chicago, I want you to build us a new stadium, I want you to build us a dome, and they don't get their way, they go, that's fine, I'm going to Indiana. Kind of like, that's fine, I'll call Dad. I'll ask Dad. So they have this track record. At one point, we're going to have the Munster, Indiana Bears and things like that. So to me, honestly, this feels like just sort of a simple ploy as a bargaining chip to say, that's fine. If you guys won't give us $2 billion, we'll move to Indiana. A lot of people tell me, no, it's different this time. And so that's sort of been a discussion here in Northwest Indiana is, does it make sense to bring the Bears here? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's certainly a ploy. I'm not naive to think that the Chicago Bears are going to try to get the best deal from either Illinois or Indiana they can. I mean, that's just business, right? That's business 101. You're going to shop around and see who wants to earn your business. And so, but I do think what's different is that Chicago is sucking far more than it's ever sucked in the past. And so I think when it comes to the lawlessness, the crime, the high taxes, the cost of doing business, Illinois is just absolutely screwing itself under the Pritzker administration, under Brandon Johnson. And I think Indiana is so far, far, far better than Illinois on every metric when it comes to business, when it comes to safety and security. So why wouldn't the Bears want to come here? Because it's going to be a nicer community. It's going to be a safer environment. It's going to be better business environment. And you're just as far from downtown Chicago as you would be almost any other place they'd be looking at right now in the Illinois lines.
So my argument on that would be, obviously, I agree with you, and we've seen plenty of growth here in Northwest Indiana because of that. We completely agree on that. But the question becomes, shouldn't our being a business-friendly state, having low taxes, shouldn't that be enough of an incentive to bring them here without having to spend the extra $1 billion? And that becomes my concern, is that this is and again, it's not just Indiana. This is something that historically is happening around the country, is that each stadium costs more than the last. They just built one in Las Vegas, and hopefully ours isn't that expensive. But it becomes that question of, at what point do incentives no longer make sense? And are we writing this big check simply because it's, a sports team, and would we offer this to any other business, kind of thing?
Hey, that's a great point, Chuck. And listen, I'm not saying we give them a blank check and just, sell our tomorrow for today. So I think that's absolutely the tension and the balance that we need to find. Now, I do think there's the price and cost of doing business, right? You have to spend money to make money in the business world. And I think if this is I look at this as this is a smart business environment. I think Northwest Indiana, I've said this publicly many times. I've been up there probably more than any other part of the state in my travels. Northwest Indiana has so much untapped potential, and it's really primed to be a economic, prosperous powerhouse of our state. And so I want to see it. I want to see that happen. I think if this is a way we can begin to make that happen, then I'm open to conversations. Now, I'm not saying we just, write them a blank check. It needs to be done with wisdom. But at the same time, I think it's a good step to make in the right direction.
And as you mentioned that, I do want to say that we definitely appreciate all of your visits, because that's one of the things that in this little corner of Indiana we've always sort of felt neglected. And the idea that you're making regular visits definitely does not go unnoticed, and we appreciate that. So go ahead, Bob. Bob wants to jump in that. Go ahead. Good.
So I want to I want to pivot from the Bears to something that happened last week. We've got another one planned for this week. We're seeing a lot of high schools up here, a lot of high school students plan these protests and are walking out of school during school day. They're heading out to the streets. And as a parent, I've got some. I mentioned this on the Friday show that I've got some extreme reservations about school administrations allowing these kids to go out. We saw some video where it almost looked riotous at Munster High School last week. The kids just took over the halls. There was fighting. They were fighting over an American flag. There was a kid in Illinois that got punched during one of these. So that's sort of the question is, obviously this becomes an interesting question. And again, my son, his school is scheduled to do a walkout tomorrow, and it's a concern of mine as a parent. Obviously this becomes a question is we want to give people the First Amendment right to protest, but then also it's sort of like one of those, well, you live under my roof, you are not protesting. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, no, I think that's a great point. Listen, we have to remember that kids are kids. They don't have full constitutional rights yet. They're not 18, right? They're under the stewardship of their parents or legal guardians. And so when a parent drops the kid off to a public school, the parent is transferring the legal guardianship to the school. And we don't give kids Second Amendment rights. We don't give kids Fourth Amendment rights in schools, right? Like if a principal wants to search a kid's locker, they don't have to go get a warrant from the judge to do so. They can say, open up your locker, and the kid can be like, wow, you're violating my Fourth Amendment rights. As a principal, I'd say, sorry, buddy, you're under my roof right now, and your parents have given me legal guardianship over you, so open up that locker. I want to see what's in there. And so, but when it comes to First Amendment, for whatever reason, people, especially in the world of academia, they cannot apply the same standard to the other constitutional rights. Because again, we would never in a million years let kids walk into school with guns, right? Like that would be absolutely insane. But yet for some reason, the First Amendment right, they have First Amendment right privileges. We just got to let them, do whatever they want to do. You can't squelch their First Amendment. Yes, you can. They're kids. You can tell them what to do, where to go, and how to do it. That's the point of being a kid. You have parents and legal guardianship. So I know the governor and I, we've had a lot of conversations about this. In Indiana, unfortunately, we have a very decentralized educational system. That means local control is really, really valued. And so we can't come in as the state and just say to a principal or superintendent, don't let them do this. It really has to be fought at the local level. However, we have made, like Katie Jenner, our Secretary of Education, has said, we don't want to be wasting hours on this. There will be consequences. It could be funding. It could be mechanisms that we could pull that would just make it uncomfortable for schools if they continue to allow these types of things to happen. And then the other aspect that the governor and I are working on, we're working on getting the counter argument in the public schools. Okay, fine. If you want to allow these ICE protests to just be out there vilifying law enforcement and rule of law, okay, fine, schools. But we want to see TPUSA Club America chapters in every single school. And if you push back on that, then you're being a hypocrite and you're being discriminatory. And so we're trying to get good clubs. We're trying to get good things in the schools that would then be pro-American, pro-law enforcement. And that's another way we can fight. We can fight fire with fire, essentially. So
one of the questions I have, and I've had this discussion with several Republicans now. So we had a couple protests last week. I drove by one, and they had the same signs at their protest that you'd see at the anti-ICE protest. Trump is a fascist and all these kind of things. ICE are Nazis. One of my questions for Republicans is, obviously, we agree these children are being, they did not come up with that by themselves. A lot of these signs are coming from their parents or coming from, outside influence. But the question becomes, are you concerned that you're essentially going to, that for Republicans, you're going to plant this seed that this idea of, Republicans are Nazis, you're going to have an entire generation of young people. Yeah. That's sort of the concern is how do you fix that damage? Because for a lot of people, you have that sort of impressionable time in your life, and that's where, that's the foundation of your politics. And now all of these kids, a large portion of our, society now, these young people are being told, from TikTok or whatever that, Trump's a Nazi, ICE are fascists, all these things. I'm concerned that this is going to do lasting damage to the Republican Party.
Oh, 100%. Well, that's the goal. I mean, that's the Marxist academic goal. They said back in the 50s, this was their agenda, was to get into higher academic institutions, begin to teach the teachers, and then the teachers would teach the kids. And it's pointing this type of indoctrination in their heads that America is fascist, America being pro-American is somehow wrong. A socialist communist government is actually a better type of government than our Republican form of government. So all of these things this is the goal. I mean, so you're seeing this play out. It's been 50 years of a long march through our educational system. And so I'm not surprised by this. What we have to be asking the question is, what do we do to counter? And in Indiana, one of the things that we have is we have one of the best universal voucher systems in the country. You can take your tax dollars and you can go to any school you want to go to. If your school is pushing this anti-ICE, this anti-American propaganda BS, then get your kids out of the school. Take the voucher system, take your tax dollars, and go to a better school. There's private schools, there's Christian schools, there's all kinds of schools, charter schools. Go there, and that's what I encourage parents to say. Hey, listen, you gotta vote with your tax dollars. And every time a school loses a student, those are dollar signs. And most schools, unfortunately, don't see your kids as the kid and an individual. They see them with dollar signs. And a school will lose upwards of $8,000 per student for that year if the parent goes somewhere else. And I think that's a really good way to send a message to our public schools. Hopefully your public schools aren't allowing this type of nonsense. And then listen, I'd be saying the same thing if this would have been happening a few years ago where people were walking out protesting Joe Biden with F Joe Biden signs. I'd be saying the exact same thing. This is not the place to do that. This is absolutely wasting our tax dollars. This is not what education should be focused on. And fix it or else.
Okay, we're talking to the Lieutenant Governor, Micah Beckwith. I call you my friend LT. I don't know if that's sticking now. Just call yourself LT. And I also found out I'm not supposed to call you Lieutenant Governor. I'm supposed to call you the Governor. Is that correct?
Whenever the governor is not present, then I'm referred to as governor.
Okay, I'm looking around. He's not
on the call.
I looked around. He's not here, so we can call you the governor. But I feel like that's confusing for people. They'll think you got a promotion or something. But
no. Yeah, no, I'm still lieutenant governor. Yep.
We've got in addition to being live on the radio here, we are streaming on YouTube, and we've got a comment section, and folks are chiming in. One of the questions that was asked is a big topic here in northern Indiana, not just northwest Indiana, but northern Indiana, is the recent increase in energy prices. Folks' NIPSCO bills are going through the roof. There's the price for the product. There's a price of the transport fee, the delivery fee, and there have been, I don't know, maybe half a dozen protests at various NIPSCO facilities. I know there's a lot of back and forth between NIPSCO, the State House, the IURC residents up here. Do you have any comments on that as to really what Indianapolis may or may not be doing to either help residents in northern Indiana with their bills, or working with NIPSCO to lower some of those costs? I know there's probably two different answers. One's more of a long-term answer, but folks are really clamoring for some immediate type of relief. What are your thoughts on what's going on with NIPSCO here in northern Indiana?
Yeah, it's out of this world insane. I mean, like, the prices are just going through the roof, and that's a plethora of a lot of different things. Natural gas has doubled in price since last year. We are having an extremely cold winter comparable to the last 3 winters. But then you also have these protected monopolies that the government has created, right? So, or allowed to be created, I should say, and that's the problem right there. And so one of the things the governor and we've heard this. I mean, this issue. Kudos to Hoosiers, because they have made their voice heard on this particular issue. And the governor and I were just talking about this at his residence just a couple days ago. And one of the things that he's very, very intent on is putting we got basically a utility rate czar, a gal that he's put in that position. And she's really going into the IURC, and going into working with these companies like NIPSCO and saying, we're not going to just rubber stamp these rate increases. I think they came to her. I don't quote me on the actual numbers here, but I think they just came to her a few weeks ago, and they wanted a 21% rate increase, and she said absolutely not, and she recommended that they do a 10% rate decrease. And so there's that going. The governor has appointed some very rate conscious IURC members. We have Andy Zay, former state senator, who just got the nod to be on the IURC, and I know he's going to be fighting these rates. But I will say this has been a long time coming. This fix isn't going to be able to happen, unfortunately, overnight. I wish there were things we could do right now that would just take the burden off of people, like yesterday, but that's not probably how this is going to work. It's going to take a year or two before we start seeing the ramifications of what the governor is doing. Now, I have called for the removal of sales tax on our energy bills. I mean, that's just, it's stupid that we're charging sales tax. I mean, that wouldn't be a ton, but it would relieve some of the pressure. And our legislature doesn't want to do that. And I find myself fighting big government Republicans down in Indianapolis more than I do the Marxist Democrats. It's crazy.
Well, and that's one of the things I always talk about, especially here in Indiana, is when people talk about, I was trying to think of what it was a few years ago, and they said, we closed the loophole and we're going to bring in so many millions of dollars. Turns out the loophole was, taxing little old ladies' pensions. It's like, again, at a certain point you go, look, we can do without the money. And that's a perfect example of, we've been talking about sort of these people on fixed income. When you go to these IURC meetings and things like that, they're just saying, look, I'm at the point now or if my utility bills go up, I'm going to have to decide between that and buying medicine or eating and things like that. So it's become where a lot of people are struggling, but there's a lot of people that are at the breaking point, and government, instead of trying to give them sort of that life preserver, we seem to just keep wanting to throw things on them. And that's what's frustrating for me.
I agree. And in the immediate, pain that people are feeling, there's a couple solutions that might work for you. And you could always call our office call the Lieutenant Governor's office at the State House. We've got a couple websites we can send you to for financial assistance. And then also too, make sure you're calling your local township trustee. I mean, that's why the trustees really exist. I mean, they're there to help with things like people falling on hard times. They can't pay their energy bill, their mortgage, things like that. They need some financial assistance. Go to your township trustee. Every citizen in Indiana has a township, and there's a trustee there. And now some of them are better than others, so I can't guarantee that every single one's going to operate well. But there are some really good township trustees out there that can help, and they do have a budget to financially assist in bills like this.
Okay, so last question, and I don't really know how to broach this, so I'll just be blunt as I normally am. Okay. So I consider myself a friend of people like Rob Kendall down in Indianapolis and some of the Indianapolis.
As we hear the phone click right now. I'm kidding.
So, and I'm going to go on record, Lieutenant Governor, to say I thought that the Indianapolis media went too far, and I was disappointed with the way that they were treating you. But again, we also have this balance as a journalist. We want to balance out, we want to keep people accountable, but we also sometimes we get these, sort of the personal issues get in the way of good journalism, and it becomes personal as opposed to journalistic. So I wonder if you want to just sort of talk about that a little bit. And obviously, sure. Rob's no longer with WIBC, but also, again, like I said, it always, to me, as sort of an outsider up here and having gotten to meet you, it felt like they were being unfair to you. And I just wanted to go on record to say that. But also, so what are your thoughts about just sort of how the media in Indianapolis has been treating you?
Well, I appreciate that. I would agree with that. I think their coverage, especially Rob, got to a point where it just became vindictive and personal. And I he kicked me off his show. I was on his show every Tuesday for 4 years. And the moment, the day he never had me back, and he never told me, like, he just ghosted me. It wasn't like he said, "Hey, I'm done with you." He just ghosted me, and which wasn't very professional. But it was because I called him out on just I felt like he was getting overly hate-filled towards Diego, right, our Secretary of State. And now, listen, I wasn't defending every action Diego's taken, but I just told him on air. I said, Rob, bitterness will kill you if you do not let it go. And this seems really, really personal. Well, he took that personally, and then started getting really, out of control with me. And so I still consider Rob a friend. I still love him. I mean, I haven't talked to him for months on end. He won't return calls. It's just it's unfortunate to see what bitter and angerness will do to somebody. And I'll say this, like, he wasn't let go from WIBC because he was being unfair to Micah. That's not why he was let go. He was let go because his ratings were terrible. His ratings were through the floor. WIBC, I mean, they were losing they lost a third of their listeners since June, and a lot of that when they would ask their listeners, it was like, Rob Kendall's just too much. There's no hope. Here's the thing you got to balance as a journalist / sort of a shock jock that like Rob Kendall is. You got to give people hope. I mean, at some point you got to say, okay, we understand the system can be broken. People can be making terrible decisions. I'm not saying we stop saying that, because people need to be held accountable in government. Absolutely. But when you just are always doing that, people get really tired of it. And they're like, man, like, so what's the solution, Rob, other than just throwing bombs? Like, what do we do? And he would never provide hope. And that's why he got fired. I mean, it wasn't because he was, being unkind to me or Todd Rokita or the governor. It was that his ratings were going through the floor because people were frankly just turning him off.
Okay, I appreciate that. And one last question then. If I were to come down and hold a beer summit, is it possible to break bread and try to get past this? Because I think the two of you are, you're both important figures here for the fight against, as you called it, like sort of the big government Republicans. I would love a world where we can bring you guys together and break bread.
Oh, I would love that. I think that would be something I would, in a heartbeat, I would do. I've actually reached out, tried to do that with him since, trying to grab lunch and the Bible says, if you have an offense with a brother, go to that brother, and take that to the person. And I think that would be great. I would be all in for something like that. And if you can broker that and he's up for it. And I think that'd be fantastic.
I had a feeling you would. I had a feeling you'd give a nice Christian answer, and you gave me exactly the answer I expected from you. So thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you as always. We'd love to have you. So we're back in our new, as we call it, the new old new studios here at WJOB in our old bunker.
We've moved since the last time you were here. We came back to the old studio. So next time you're up in the region, when you come up here, it'll be the new studio for you. And we'd love to have you in studio sometime. I know it's quite a trek for 7 a.m. Central Time for someone from Indy, but you are always welcome to stop in, to call in. Thank you. What Chuck had mentioned, we don't get a lot of information from Indianapolis. We just don't. We're in the Chicago media market. Lay on top of that we're just Lake County, and we don't really. As much as we say we don't care about what's going on, we don't really listen. So it is nice to have, a voice from Indianapolis occasionally call up here and, tell us what you're thinking. So I appreciate you taking some time this morning, because I know Sessions in today, and I don't know how you do it. Like herding cats.
Hey, just do us one favor. Try not to spend any money today. How about that? Tell them whatever. Just let's not. It's a holiday. Let's not spend money.
Yeah, it's
today.
a holiday for Chuck's sake, for libertarian sake. It's no check writing Monday. How about that?
Hey, Chuck, I'll do you one better. Technically, this isn't a budget year, so we shouldn't be spending any money. So,
other than that $1 billion for the Bears, but Well,
I mean, come on. Other than that.
Other than that. What's $1 billion among friends? I mean, it'll be transformational, right? That's what they always tell me. It's transformational.
Right next to our $1 billion train
and our $200 million convention center and all sorts of things. But okay, thank you for the time. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
We appreciate your time. So
thanks, guys.
Hey, you take care. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be back with Larry the K after this.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Well, yeah. Hang on. Let me do this first. So.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on. So
Okay.
7:36. We need a light or something. If only they had an invention where it said like an on-air light. We need to get one of those. It's 7:36 in the region. Hope you enjoyed that interview with LT, our good friend LT, the Lieutenant Governor.
Testing.
I kept asking him about sending us a check, and he laughed. But I was being serious. It's like, if you're going to spend $1 billion in the Bears, send a few grand over WGLB's way. I could use a few things. But taking a look at traffic, it is a Monday holiday, so traffic is surprisingly light. The only thing going on, a little squeeze when you hit the Dan Ryan to downtown into the circle. Other than that, things are fantastic on the roadways. And how is the weather?
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 36 degrees with highs of 66 and lows of 40. It's going to become windier and warm with periods of sun. And then tomorrow and Tuesday we'll be having highs of 57 and lows of 52. Should be mostly cloudy. And then Wednesday we'll be having highs of 69 and lows of 37 with a couple of morning showers and a thunderstorm. Otherwise breezy and warmer.
So all these guys on their devices. I'm like, hey, we should do a radio show. What do you think?
Yes,
let's
do a radio show.
You guys are watching a different show.
Well, no, I'm just saying that
sure
is one rough camera angle right there. Man, that is. Yeah, everybody.
I need to sit up.
Chuck and I clearly shop at the same.
I didn't lose all that weight just for
company.
this.
Shop at Marshalls.
Yeah,
shop at Marshalls.
The
you got nothing for the big
bin.
man in society there,
Yeah.
man.
Okay,
Not at all.
So,
wow. This is why else. See, you got the laptop there. This is why.
That's why he has
I ditched the laptop because I got to be out of here at 8.
Oh, you do? What's going on there, Bob?
He's a government guy.
He's got to work.
It's a Monday. You guys don't work.
I got to work.
Yeah, it's
but
a government
that's
holiday.
why
What
I
are
have
you
the
talking
laptop
about?
always at.
He's going to get that big MacBook and
Yes.
drop it out in your lap.
Yeah.
Well, when you get out to that large-ass table, Jed was showing me.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have
fit
room
12
for
people
all.
there.
Yeah, you're going to have room
We
for
can have a
all
Last Supper
sorts
up
of
there.
laptops.
Okay, so you should introduce yourself. Tell people who you are.
Hi, my name is Larry, formerly Larry the K. They still call me Larry the K. I had a short stint here at WJOB from 2011 to 2014. It's nice to be back in this studio here.
It's weird, isn't it?
No,
It's
it's not weird. It's very lovely.
There's energy here.
Yeah, I think about how I was here on the floor gluing in these panels with Rick
you
and
did
Mike.
that?
Yes,
Really?
the three of us redid this studio back when it was done. As a matter of fact, Conservation Mike had done the lettering here on a CNC
did he do
machine
that?
he owned.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that was a fun day doing all this, and so it's nice to be back home, Chuck. It's nice to be back home.
I always come in here. I think about our friend the preacher. I think about Big George.
Yep.
May they rest in peace. A lot of the other ne'er-do-wells.
The legends that have passed through here.
So
it's
Chuck
really, Pullen.
Well,
I
don't
think
know
about
that.
Chuck
Bob
Pullen when I
Starkey.
come through here. Bob Starkey.
Well, who doesn't? I'm on 24/7 now on the flashbacks with the same two.
It's WJO Chuck.
Yeah, why not? You think I was paying for that or
Dirty.
getting paid or something?
Dirty.
Okay, so we've been talking about a few issues here this morning, and feel free to pivot
Sure.
it however you'd like.
Sure.
But, so we started talking about sort of the idea of these. We've got a lot of student walkouts going on,
Right.
And so, as I mentioned, as a parent, obviously I'm concerned. We did have several instances of violence. We had an incident, I forget where it was, middle of the country, where a guy ran over some protesters.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously whenever, your kid is out there protesting, it's a concern of mine. I said,
right.
I would prefer if you just lay low and
Mm-hmm.
don't, so I, obviously for me. But so what are your thoughts having seen that? I mean, having seen these protests here around the region.
Well, I tend to narrow my view to what's happening in the region. The kid in Lake Zurich, though, he got my hero tag. I'll tell you that.
But again,
well, hold on. No,
Okay,
it's
go
not
ahead.
okay,
No,
Chuck.
okay,
Let's just agree before we get everybody calling in and all that. No, violence is not okay.
Thank you.
Okay, but don't tell me that you've never ever wanted to do such a thing to somebody who was harassing, face to face. Tell me that thought has never crossed your mind. Now, of course, you didn't act on it.
Oh, I beg to differ.
But the young kid at Lake Zurich, that boy's that's my hero right there. See, he's standing up for what he wants. Did he do the right thing and socking that kid? Nobody gave him fair warning. Just as that other kid. When you do that, you're going to get in trouble. Well, all right, here it is. He stood up what he believed in. For what he believed in, both of them. Okay, there it is.
So there's your, there's your possible consequence of violence. Now you want to talk about the idiot down in Texas who got out of his car to harass teenagers, and they piled on him? For that, I don't hear anybody calling about that. Where's that guy's rights? How come he, or is it the same thing? Well, you shouldn't have messed. Right? So what are we talking about here? Are we talking about the love of violence? Or are we going to talk about a person's, an American, a person who lives here, their First Amendment rights to free speech and protest?
Well, okay, so Micah Beckwith said something very interesting. He said that school students have no First Amendment rights.
No, the Supreme Court says differently.
Well,
Tinker v. Des Moines.
So that becomes the question is, and again, that becomes the question is, and he talked about Fourth Amendment right, and obviously students don't have a Second Amendment right when they're in high school and stuff like that.
Well, no, because of gun laws,
Well, we have. It's Indiana, man. We have no gun laws. Where have you been?
Sure we do.
We do not.
Our gun law is the Second Amendment, Chuck.
Well, that's what I'm saying is why, again, so that becomes an interesting question. If students have a First Amendment right, why not a second? I mean, again,
you got to wait till you're 18.
Okay.
Some rights you have to wait for that.
Right.
Now, does that mean I can't, you can't take young Luke, your boy? I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't say his name on the air.
It's
I
fine.
don't want you
He's
to
on
get
the
doxxed.
air. We actually have had this discussion on the air with him, actually.
You want to take your young boy, your young son, or your son, whoever out shooting the Willow Slough and show him how to use a gun. Well, all fine and well, but of course you can't carry a gun in school. Come on. That's not even an argument there. You can't carry a gun in school. Why are you going to free
Again, if you're going to be an absolutist, and if you have a First Amendment, why not a second?
Come on. Absolutist is a fun multisyllabic word for your listeners, Chuck.
Okay,
Get with it.
I know. Too many syllables for
I
Monday morning.
know.
Okay,
But
so
anyway.
do we have a whole bunch? It's fun. Our new phone system is pretty neat. So we can
I like it.
So we can take a whole bunch of calls. So let's take a call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Now, how'd you know somebody was on the
I
air?
could see it.
The green.
Yeah,
call in
so now
studio.
the
Okay, this is what I heard.
And you know about this. Okay, good morning,
I do
caller.
now.
You're on the air. Do you have them turned up?
Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, MX.
Oh, is this Perry?
It is.
Hey, Perry, how you doing, bud?
How you doing?
Good morning, sir.
Long
How have you
time no
been?
hear from.
How's the
Good.
how's the dual knee surgery a year or two after?
Tell you what, there's nothing like it. If you got bad knees,
Boy, I tell you, man.
get it done.
I got to get my left one done in about a year or two for sure. Hopefully sooner rather than later. What do you got, man? How you been?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Living, thriving, and surviving. You know how it goes.
What's on your mind?
You know what? If there's one thing Mika said, and Chuck, I would like
Micah.
you to tape that. And it's what Mika said about indoctrination. I think you need to tape that because somebody's teaching these kids. Bob, would you please tape that for me?
Oh,
And
we'll
another
play it
thing,
all day.
Bob-
Jim said it's play it all day
Yeah.
today, so you'll hear it later.
No, just cut that one part. Just cut the one part about the indoctrination. Number two, I don't want to call you Spot, Bob, but could you said you get your memes from, could you just say you get it from MX Cartoons, even if you're sitting next to D-Lo? Here's another thing, too, the SAVE Act. Guess who the only person that voted against the SAVE Act, Bob?
Oh, am I on now?
I'll say it for you. Yeah, Frank Mervan. Okay,
He's the only
He's
one
the
that
only
voted
one
against
that
it.
voted
Only
against.
one.
Well, he's voted against the SAVE Act. I just want everybody to know that. And it seems like everybody there's for the SAVE Act.
Did no Republicans
And,
vote against the SAVE Act?
And,
it pass?
he
passed,
showed
so-
up.
Yeah, but how many
Showed up
Republican
shaking
dissenters?
hands yesterday. Yeah, Mervyn showed up shaking hands yesterday at BP, and there was a fine from Mervyn and Biden, the DOJ, for $40 million against BP. He's actually against fossil fuels, but he's over there shaking hands. And I'm going to let you go and try to help me figure out, why do you go and shake hands with BP when you voted against them, Frank? So I'll let you go with that. And Larry, get the other knee done.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you had a 2-year stint. I didn't even have that long, buddy. So take
Oh
care.
yeah,
huh?
well you got yours done pretty quick. I remember. So
Take care, buddy.
be safe,
You
Perry.
take care. So
Good to
it
see
did
you.
pass 218 to 213.
Okay.
All Republicans,
So all Republicans.
and John Fetterman voted for it.
Well,
Okay, what are your thoughts on John Fetterman?
I like him.
He's interesting.
Yeah.
I find him interesting. I don't agree with him on a lot.
Carhartt hoodies are well represented.
And shorts, in shorts.
And, not like it's anything special or nobody ever has, but having been to the Capitol and dressed similarly as I was to meet our representative, I felt sorely out of place.
Well, I still
and
remember.
I can't imagine what a senator coming in sweatpants and a hoodie.
Right.
If Mr. Fetterman has that wherewithal.
I still remember, that when Obama wouldn't wear a tie in the Oval Office.
Come on! Don't forget about the tan suit controversy.
tan
My God,
suit.
we almost went to war over that.
Well, I mean, he did wear those mom jeans to go ride his bike too.
That too. And
So,
he
yeah.
asked for Dijon mustard on his hot dog, Chuck.
Uh-oh.
It was the end of the world. You remember those days?
Oh man, I
Remember
miss those days.
It was the end of the world.
Okay, so let's take some more callers. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, I want to get back to the lieutenant governor.
Sure.
When he said, listen up, all you Northwest Indiana Democrats. He called you all Marxist Democrats. And the second thing he said that really got my goat was that he said that every public school in the state of Indiana, all the administrators, the teachers, all they see these kids as is a dollar sign. That was a slap in the face to every public school administrator. You don't think these people don't care about these kids? You don't think that you think that these administrators see all these kids as a dollar sign? Man, that guy, that guy's way, way, way out there. You got to be careful of him. And for all you Northwest Indiana, I'm a Republican, but for all you Northwest Indiana Marxists, wake up, people. We need to start sending Republicans down there. Vote Republican. Throw it back in her face. Every time we send a Democrat down to Indianapolis, they laugh their butts off. And, now he wants to send $1 billion up here. Oh, for what? The Bears? Where was the $1 billion when the Klein Avenue Bridge sat and was shut down? Where were these downstate Republicans at when I-80 was flooding? I tell you what, these guys are no good for us. It's that guy. You got to be careful with that guy. He's way, way, way out there.
Okay, thoughts? I mean, I know. Go ahead. Let's go on.
Yeah, thoughts. Let's hear them.
Okay, I was talking to these guys. You gave plenty of your thoughts. So I know that I'm in the middle here once again. So Bob, what are your thoughts on that?
This is actually a pretty good representation.
What?
Nothing. You said you're in the middle.
I'm in the middle. I'm stuck in the middle with you, as I like to say.
Oh, lucky us.
Yeah.
Let's start with the schools. Start with the schools.
Okay.
What are we starting with the
One of
schools?
you- one of you
what
start.
Beckwith said about
Okay.
the schools?
So what did he say? So he talked about the Marxist indoctrination.
Well, he's a lieutenant governor. What the hell does he know about running a classroom or running a school?
Okay. So
And
Bob?
for the lieutenant governor to make such a comment about future constituents is kind of silly, I think.
Which part of that am I talking
Any-
about?
You're just talking. You're,
Any part of that?
You're
Let's
part
go,
of the,
guys.
you're the
Come
host.
on, let's go.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's certainly I do not think that school districts do themselves a favor with how they view students. I think they're not doing themselves any favors. And when we were talking about the walkout specific part of it, I think Munster still needs to answer for why they let their kids just walk out. I think Michael was right. When I drop off my kid at school, when he's with me, he's under my authority. I then transfer that to the school
in loco parentis,
and you're going to just let him walk out. I mean, I have some real issues with
about the Munster thing. I want to ask you this.
Here's the issue.
Oh, I forgot. We had a caller on the line. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hold on. If he's so, if you're so concerned about the walkouts, shouldn't the governor say, hey, if the kids walk out, we're going to cut the funding for today?
Well, and I think we're going to cut the funding for today.
Huh?
Caller, they've already cut funding. by almost 75% to all Indiana high schools.
Oh, okay, so here, let me ask.
So what's more to cut?
I understand that.
Yeah.
Why? Because the Republicans downstate think that everybody should take the voucher and everybody should take their kids out of the public school. They do that for a reason. They're not pro public schools.
No, not
they're
at all.
not.
It's to destroy the public
that's
education
why they cut
system.
the funding.
Okay, well, I appreciate the call.
Okay, let's get on to the $1 billion.
Well, okay, so
yeah, we got callers behind you, man.
Let's $1 billion for the Bears.
Right. So we'll talk about that. So go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, okay. So
I don't watch sports. I don't care.
So well, you should care because this can be your money that they're going to spend.
Oh, okay.
So, do you know about the plans? There's plans in place.
Yeah, they've done their soil testing and all this other good stuff.
And we're being played again as we did 20 years ago.
Sure.
The Munster Bears. So again, I asked the question about it. Should government be in the business of writing billion-dollar checks to sports teams, generally wealthy to begin with? And obviously that becomes, crazy libertarian. Hey, maybe we shouldn't spend $1 billion on a stadium for somebody that already has.
Well, I don't know about a full tax commitment.
So we are actually having a no tax commitment.
Well,
so it'd be we're going to pay.
Is there a tax abatement here?
So we're going to pay for the stadium,
Yeah.
and they're not going to pay taxes for 20 or 30 years,
something like that.
So again,
no.
basically just
Of course
the most sweetheart deal imaginable. But hey, we get the Bears.
But isn't that for any industry that comes into the cities
well,
nowadays? Don't they give those tax abatements anyway?
Well, that was
What's
my
the
question.
difference?
So that was exactly my point to the Lieutenant Governor. I said, if you already have a business-friendly state, why do you have to give them more incentives, and/or why do you have to write $1 billion check for a stadium? And that again, well, how dare you? It's economic development. It's transformational.
Is that what the Lieutenant Governor
That's
said?
what everybody says.
Oh.
It's transformational. How dare you? How dare? And I asked the question a couple weeks ago. I said, why is it? I was talking about my friend that I was trying to get him on the waiver program, Medicare. I said, how is it that somebody paid into the system for 50 years and you can't get him money, but then the Bears show up? Blank check, $1 billion, whatever you need, right? I mean,
it's the Bears. He
because
should have
it's
gone
the
out for the
Bears.
Bears.
He should have played for the Bears. I should have put him in a. Okay.
Why didn't he talk to the McCaskies at first? Come on.
My mistake.
Could have had something.
Let's take another call. Let's get through some calls.
Yeah.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Need a dump.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you're back and you got everything
It's working
properly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great because we had a little interruption there and we couldn't get it together. But
is this your
let
offsite
me just
guy?
say that right now.
This is Ron Matlock. Say good
Right
morning.
now.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, Ron. Larry the K is here. Say good morning.
Hello, Ron.
Good morning, and happy belated birthday.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. No, thank you.
Oh, to you and happy belated birthday, Ron. I'm confused.
I was
Go
like,
ahead.
you have a birthday? Happy birthday to everybody.
Yeah. Let me say that I believe that America, red, white, and blue. I believe that right now that red is usually Republican's color, blue is the Democrat color, and white is the independent. Again, you have libertarian.
And white is
you
surrender.
Pardon me?
No,
I
he
said white is surrender.
White is surrender. And he said white's libertarian. I said, how dare you, Ron? But okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your point. What are you thinking?
So I'm just simply saying that that's a system set up out here. People say, "Well, I'm all Democrat. I'm all Republican. I don't." But let me just say this right now. And again, Frank Mervan names always come up there that he need to have somebody running against him. Well, he has somebody running against him now. Now, are they going to vote for that person? The person that right now that those people who vote always Republican, they really can't vote. You got to vote your party in the primary. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Well, I mean, not necessarily.
Of course,
Well, now with the
the
new
option.
law, now with the new law where you got to have two back to back, it really disincentivizes people to switch parties like that.
Okay.
And both
okay.
Republicans and Democrats back that law because of what you're saying, where Republicans. Lake County is a great example where there's not a whole lot of action on the Republican ballot that often.
No.
So a lot of times Republicans will go and look at Mervan McDermott when that whole thing went
sure.
down.
I'm gonna
A
put
lot
the
of
fifth on that one.
Republicans,
Yep.
went over there to vote one way or the other.
You still wearing that shirt?
And so, but now with the new law where
Easy
you
killer.
need to have two consecutive of the same party to be of that party, I think you're going to see a lot less of that.
Uh-huh.
But I hear people who say that, and I just I mean, people have a right to say that. You'll never hear me say, I'm glad they got more than one party. Because if they had one, let's say they have a Democratic Party, I won't say that. I would not like that. I'm glad that they got a Republican Party, you know.
Hey,
And
Ron,
I'm
I
glad.
appreciate you saying that because there's a lot of people on both sides. And I always say, I said, as somebody who's visited Cuba and seen what one-party rule looks like, I'm glad that we have two parties and even three parties in some cases.
For those individuals who call, we won't call a name, they say, I vote red, I vote red. Well, you vote red. Is red everything that you want? You know? I just listened to this guy. I watch a lot of national things. Face the Nation. Tom Tillerson. He's from North Carolina. And how he's a Republican. And how he said the Republicans are going in the wrong direction, and we're going to lose one house and maybe the next house if Donald Trump keeps on. You know, he said that. I didn't say that. On Face the Nation, that Tom Tillerson, some people probably don't even know who I'm talking about, but he is the senator from North Carolina, okay? And right now, for this stuff, and Trump basically is going to cause really real problems of people because when he loses the House and maybe the Senate, I don't think he'll lose the Senate. I'm going to be very honest with you. I think it's close. It's about 3. I keep up with stuff in issues, man. I think there's 3 or 4 votes. And right now in Texas, in Indiana, in Texas, there's one been held by a Republican, and they might lose that in a super red state because of people just sick and tired of this thing. You know, Frank Mervan, I don't know why he's such a terrible person. You got this lady who ran, Jennifer Ruth Green ran against him before, and she was it. I'm going to vote for her. What they called her? You know what happened? Allegedly of stealing money, using a credit card for personal accounts.
Right.
Okay.
She resigned over that. You're right.
And I would never say that. I'm going to use the term allegedly.
But she did resign over it, so that did happen, yes.
Yeah. Spark Wade, right now, allegedly double dipping, and she was fired from the city thing. Now, she's running against Frank Mervan. So I'm just saying, when you say things like that, you know, that you're going to go. And when person in need for township trustee a lot of time, I believe a Democrat went to what's his name in North Township, Santos, and he was able to give thing, and he should have. He shouldn't have asked them if they're a Democrat or Republican. I'm just saying we need to get away from this, and right now, if not, we're going to a authoritarian government in this country right now, and it's been said. I listened to Face the Meet the Press, Face the Nation, and you all probably don't listen to any of that. You know, you say, well, it's too, but I listen to all. I listen to Fox, okay, because I want to know what they're saying. People say, you know, so I'm just simply saying that right now we're faced right now with people, health care, lose everything come up, and it's under a Republican administration right now. They don't know where they're going. We're in the process. We're looking forward. I'm not looking forward to it, but right now we're on the edge of another shutdown, which was 43 days last time around, and it'd be because of craziness that somehow they can't come together. But the Republicans are coming over with the Democrats and saying, we're not going along with this. We looked at that in Indiana. I'm so proud of you Republicans out there. So, you know, we're not going to do this. Redistricting usually come every 10 years, okay? And all of a sudden they want to change the rules. Once they learn the game, they change the rules.
Okay, so Ron, we got to take a break.
Okay. But
so,
I'm just,
go ahead.
I hope I'm making sense what I'm saying, though.
You are.
I hope I'm making sense.
Okay, I appreciate the call.
Hanging on every word.
We got to take a break. It is 8:00.
I want to do it this time.
Go ahead.
Because I haven't done
feel
in
free.
so long.
Go ahead.
Chuck.
You
Middle age, man, when you
right?
don't do things for so long, I'm telling you.
Go ahead.
This is AM 1230, FM 104.7, WJOB, the voice of the region, the bright spot on your dial.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
Before Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, we were being charged various maintenance fees and various check writing fees for all of our accounts. And with Notre Dame, we don't have that. We have that true community partnership. We get interest based on all of our parish and school accounts, and the interest rate is really second to none.
Have you ever considered becoming an iron worker? Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
At Albert Diamond Jewelers, love is the heart of everything we do. That's why we're known as the Love Store. This Valentine's Day, we're celebrating the moments that matter most and the ones you'll remember forever. Explore our newly remodeled showroom with stunning pieces from David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Lagos, Mikimoto, and Shy Creations, along with exceptional watch brands and the most beautiful diamond rings. With every purchase over $99, receive a dozen roses, a box of chocolate, and a special dinner voucher. We'll see you at Albert's this Valentine's Day.
Go ahead, you can do it.
But this is...
It's 8:02 in the... Go ahead.
It's 8:02 in the region, AM 1230, 104.7 FM, the voice and face of the region.
Yeah, now you nailed it.
WJOB. You know, back in the day when I was in high school, Mr. Stone, my typing teacher. Chuck,
Okay.
are you old enough to have used the electric typewriters?
Just barely. I think
Okay.
it was word processing.
I was like the last one.
Yeah.
We had Apple IIs at
yeah.
Munster,
Okay.
but we also still had the old IBM electric typewriters for typing class. And Mr. Stone, I annoyed him so much that he grabbed a piece of chalk and he goes in his voice. He was an old Army veteran. He goes, "Kyleman, I'm going to tell you, you need to work at," and he took the chalk and he wrote WJOB on the board.
See, if only he had a cell phone, he could take a picture of that.
And he drew a little chalk antenna and he wrote, "Worst job of broadcasting, Kyleman, this is your future."
And he imparted that on you?
I know.
You got to do it.
God, that was so long ago.
Yeah.
That was like 40 years ago, man.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Anyway, you're here on WJOB.
That voice is Larry the K,
Hi.
Larry Kyleman.
Hello.
This voice is Chuck Pullen,
That's
which you
Chuck
should know
Pullen.
because you're listening to the Winter
And the
of
voice
Chuck.
you're not hearing is Bob Starkey.
Bob Starkey had to go take a call about how to spend money.
Something. I'm not sure if it was that kind of call, but
they should hopefully have the day off.
I
but
think
again,
it was nature actually calling.
Okay, so
You know.
let's take a call. So good morning,
Hello,
caller.
call.
You were on the air.
Yeah, if you want to keep up with what's going on in Indianapolis political-wise, there are a couple of things you can do. One, on Sunday morning, 8 o'clock,
I'm in church.
the local public TV, they carry a program called Indiana Legislators.
Mm-hmm.
They have real live legislators, Republicans and Democrats.
Not AI.
And then at 8:30, they have a seminar. They have a panel discussion called Indiana Week in Review. They'll have a representative from the Republican Party, Democrat Party, and then two people from the local media kind of thing. Or you can go to your local library, and they typically have carry the Indianapolis Star, and you can read about what's going on in Indy through the Indianapolis Star. So there's ways to keep up with what's going on in Indianapolis. You don't have to be ignorant about it.
So, Walt, we were talking about these protests, and you were also an educator for a time. So what are your thoughts about this? The lieutenant governor said that essentially...
Wait, stop there. Walt, did you teach in the high school, primary, secondary, or collegiate?
Both.
Both. I gave you three, so which one?
I was just...
primary,
I was a high school
secondary.
science teacher.
Okay.
High school science teacher, and then I taught business. I was a business professor teaching mainly quantitative courses.
Gotcha. How many years did you teach high school, Walt?
2.
2. Okay. Go ahead. I never, all these years I've heard you on the air, talked with you when I was on the air. I never knew that. I was just curious. Please continue, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, any case, I think it's it's ridiculous to allow students to run the school. When you allow them to do, I mean,
wait, stop.
spending
Who's allowing the students to run the school here? Which school system?
Well, they're allowed to walk out of the school without the
hold on.
permission
You said
of the
hold on. You're using your Walt brush here. You said it's crazy to let the kids run the school. Now, which school system is letting the kids run the school?
Well, where these things happened.
So, in all those schools across the nation, they're letting the kids run the school. That's what you're saying.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
That's why they just
every public school that has a walkout. Go ahead.
That's the reason there is a lot of undiscipline in the schools. That's why teachers are leaving schools with PTSD, having to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be teachers could teach for 30, 40 years, and there was no problem. They could manage the school, manage the class.
Well, I think that
But
still
it's
is. A good
just-
number of
we're
my
spending
colleagues have been in for a couple decades, myself included. So how's this used to be?
Per capita spending on this country, when it comes to public schools, is at the top. When it comes to math, science, English language arts, and so forth, we're damn near the bottom compared to in the Western industrial countries, many of whom have per capita wealth of not even less than half of what we have, yet their performance on math, science, language arts, and so forth is better. And why would you allow kids to leave the school when they should be in that classroom studying math, science, etc.? And I can tell you, as a business professor, I was astounded as to how poor math skills were, not just in places like people coming out of the Chicago public schools, but also expensive DuPage County schools. It's mind-boggling, and it's just the very spectacle of kids just being able to walk out of the classroom. And of course, once you start that, once you allow it, then the next thing is it's another walkout and another walkout. Each one is going to say, well, if you allow them to walk out, we're entitled to it. It's just
Okay,
insanity.
so what if it was, let's just say Valpo got their first, they just got a TPUSA club, right? So what if TPUSA club decides to walk out and protest? Is that okay for you, Walt? Because it is
Absolutely not.
Oh, it's not. Okay, well that's a little bit of progression.
Okay, well, here, keep your butt in that classroom and focus on math, science,
and how long
language
you taught
arts.
high school for 2 years?
The average American kid is doing terrible. The public, I'm a product of the public schools at a time when standard tests were going up, 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 up. Since I graduated from high school, graduated from college,
1962?
the numbers are down. They keep going down.
When did you graduate high school, Walt? 60 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, okay, so hey, Walt, I appreciate the call.
I'm in my 80s.
Because I want, I do want to have
70 years ago.
I do want to have that conversation with Larry. So I appreciate the call. So this becomes the question: is we have this problem, and again, I don't think it's a red or a blue problem. It's not a big city problem or a suburbs or rural problem. Is that we have falling test scores. So I mean, what do you attribute that to? Is it the testing process? Is it because the parents aren't getting involved? What's happening in our system?
Why our schools are garbage?
Sure.
Is that what you're
asking?
asking? I was reading.
But even so here's the thing: is that
somebody already called me rude?
Okay.
On the chat board. I missed the chat board. I'm glad Jed brought that back. That was always a source.
That
of
was always fun.
entertainment.
So I mean, even the idea of I was talking about the story that came out in Illinois where you had it was kind of like a hybrid charter school thing in Chicago where their per pupil spending, it was like an experiment where their per pupil spending was like $93,000, highest in the country per kid. I'm telling you, $93,000.
Is this the Noble Charter?
I don't even know.
All
But
right.
but what they found was there was no appreciable difference in test scores after having spent that money.
Mm-hmm.
So this becomes that idea is that we sort of always like to equate, well, we need to spend more in the classroom, we need to spend more money. And then what we also see is there is a disconnect when you look nationally about per pupil spending per state and then test scores. There's really sort of a disconnect there.
For sure.
So what is? So I mean, we take that out of the equation. What do we equate this? What is this? What is the problem?
I'm going to go back to the before times here,
Okay.
before COVID, before the shutdown, and callers and everybody else, whatever. It's something that happened. We can't go back and change it. I feel what we're seeing now, especially with high school kids, and this may be a thing that passes as the generations come through. But what I am seeing right now in my classroom, 5-6 years out of shutdown, are some of the same common complaints. Oh, the kids can't read, they can't do this, they can't do that. So let's agree a year outside of your regular schooling schedule is no good for anybody. Let's just agree on that right there. And part of the also part of the reason teachers are not paid very well, there is a lot of anti-teacher discussion, the whole indoctrination bit. I mean, my God, if I was going to indoctrinate a kid, I'd give him a bar of soap and a guide on how to clean, get rid of the BO here. You follow what I'm saying? I think people, and that's a question I'd like to ask Walt too. Every time his local school system don't want to give away where you live, there, Walt. Does he vote for the referendum? And if not, then why?
You joke about BO and things like that, but I have heard from multiple teachers that say that they have to take time out of teaching to basically help their students with basic things.
Well, that's part of the job.
Well, but I'm saying, has it gotten worse?
Now that I don't think it has.
Okay.
I don't think that has. By and large, there has been a lapse in education. Now, I'm not saying every kid that comes through my classroom is like this, nor have they been for the last 6 years that, I've been at Hammond Central, right? After COVID. That's not the case. There are some. Is it a little higher than what I like to think it used to be? I'll agree. But I also believe it's having that year out of school, no contact with the teacher in the classroom, right? Showing up, if you're showing it up at all. There are still kids across the nation that schools have, for lack of a better phrase, lost track of.
Sure.
Because they never showed up. Where did they go?
Right.
No re-enrollment papers for a school 3 states away. Nothing like that. I could name 2 kids, not on the air here, but in my mind, that I had.
Just sort of disappeared. And you're saying, so there's no process.
Right. And a lot of it is, and again, you don't have a lot of teachers. COVID did a lot of that, I'm afraid.
Sure.
People who are willing to get in, especially with how schools are portrayed. You keep getting callers in here, the public school. Well, there ain't one listener that I can name that has stepped foot inside a public school.
Well, and that's
to even look around, to even ask for that information, they take their echo chamber.
Right.
The last caller's a perfect example. Take that echo chamber, and let's push it out, and keep that negative narrative going.
Right.
Right.
So I loved the Area Career Center does a great job of basically bringing people in from the industry, and they have these get-togethers where you have these different departments, and you have 4 or 5 people from the community advising. Because again, even the idea of how is AI, how is automation, how is it affecting those future jobs? So the idea, see, this is why
I'm sorry.
This is why I don't look at the chat board, because I just say
Larry the K's an idiot. Ooh.
Well, I'm saying people say, well, you're fat and bald. Like, I have a mirror, I know this.
No kidding, really.
But I'm saying is the Area Career Center does a great job of bringing in industry people to advise them. So you're not teaching word processing.
I will say this, and I wish criteria to get to the Career Center was a little looser as it was when I was there in the 1980s, going from Munster High School to take commercial electronics.
Okay.
I wish the criteria was a little looser.
Okay.
All right. I know the criteria they have now isn't unattainable, but I do believe that they have, also there's been low enrollment because of that criteria. That's some of the best things you can do for a kid is to give them something to do with their hands. But if you can't give him that opportunity because he's not happy in the classroom, right? So he's getting a D and he can't make that B to get to the area career center. Well, what are you going to do?
So I'm
right?
gonna.
So you got to it's a daily struggle.
I'm gonna do a huge hard pivot right now.
Please, what time is it? We should probably be doing.
We'll take a break in a couple.
Oh
minutes.
yeah.
We got
well, it is 8:15. We should probably say.
We do 20 now.
Oh, you do 20s. Oh,
Yeah.
like C
20,
BS.
40, yeah. So
yeah.
Speaking of BS, but no. Okay, so here, so
all of it.
I fall asleep at night watching South Park.
That's gross.
I like. No, it's
no. I mean, why do you watch TV, man?
Because I need.
That does
I
no
need
good
noise
for
to
your
fall.
brain.
I know I need noise to fall asleep. I set the sleep timer, but my point is
try gentle music, Chuck.
The ocean noise. Then
the
I just
YouTube music that we play.
Just play old clips of me.
The dulcet tones of MX.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I fall asleep watching South Park. And what's neat about South Park is it's always been topical, but now it's been on for 30-plus years. So randomly there'll be an episode from 10 or 20 years ago, what have you. And it kind of reminds you like, oh, that's what we were talking about 20 years ago. The episode the other night where Kenny was Elian Gonzalez.
Right,
and, you know, stuff like that. But my point is there was an episode the other night, and they were talking about the parents were basically wanting the teachers to teach their kids sex ed. And there was this the running joke was the parents refused and they kept trying to pawn it off on the teachers. So this idea of we don't want to teach sex ed, now it's your problem.
Yeah.
And sort of what I see is a lot of this, that this idea of a lot of this parenting gets pawned off on why aren't you teaching my kid math? Well, why aren't you teaching your kid math? There's no law saying you can't help them at night. You can't send them to Sylvan. You can't sit down with them.
You can't force them to do set aside to do homework, set aside time.
And now a lot of teachers say don't even bother with homework, right? Because
that's not me.
Okay, well, I'm just saying there's a lot of
not me.
teachers that basically say we don't even bother with homework anymore. Yeah. But so that becomes an interesting dichotomy of why aren't my kids learning this? Well, why aren't you teaching? If your kid is not, a good reader, have them read.
Well, a lot of that begins in the home.
Right.
True. Now, as I've seen it, from sitting on, the teacher's side of the desk and so on. There's a lot of kids that struggle.
Sure.
Still, kids that are identified as special ed that need that extra help and so on. And that's part of your job, too, as the general ed teacher to help the special ed
advocate,
kids out and advocate and, make sure they are getting what they need. And I've got a lot of that figured out. Not always ironed out flat, but figured out for the most part. One thing we have been talking about in class is the upcoming cell phone ban.
Interesting. Okay.
Now, you remember 2 years ago, and again, pivoting here, maybe this will garner some call, whatever, who knows. Remember 2 years ago they passed the no phones during instruction time.
Okay.
Okay, well, we know that's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and there was no enforcement mechanism put in there.
Do the teachers collect the phones?
Well, let me tell you.
Go ahead.
So in my school, because the law itself is somewhat unenforceable, okay, now kids do get in trouble. They do get disciplined but the class instruction time cell phone ban apparently was not enough. So now Senate Bill 78, which just passed, is what they're calling a bell-to-bell ban.
Okay.
So that means no cell phones in the school on your person while you're attending. It has to be put in a locker, your locker,
Mm-hmm.
or some kind of cell phone security system, a cell phone locker, what they call Yonder brand magnetic time seal bags, things like that. Now, some schools in Indiana have
they're going to give you money for buying this, right?
Well,
that's the question.
but that's been the problem.
Yeah.
With the 2024, there was all this law that came out, and there was very little to no funding for enforcement. So it fell to the teacher in the classroom yet again.
To take time out of their day.
To take time. Excuse me, Chuck, could you put that cell phone away, please?
Right.
Okay. Now, in my room, my patience reigns generally supreme.
Mm-hmm.
It takes one time, carry on, we're good to go, right? I can't think of the last time I had to send somebody out for absolute refusal to put that damn cell phone away. You get it?
Right.
So anyway, we've been talking with the kids about that, and the kids are like, "Oh my God, I'm not going to have my cell phone. I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to have that." And some of the discussion is, okay, can you put your phone? Can you have your phone away from you for an hour?
Well, and that's
to see. Well, yeah, I can do an hour. I said, okay, how about 2? You know, if
Yeah,
you're active, if you're into sports, if you're running track, if you're playing football, can you? Yeah, a couple of them, 2 hours. Okay, about how many of you can go 3? Well, a lot of the hands start going down. But you ask adults that question too. You ask some of our peers.
Sure.
I'm not so much, sir, about our producer's generation because I see. I'm sorry, producer Lynette.
Yes.
Hi, Lynette. Larry.
Hello.
Lynette, millennial or
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Yeah, the Gen Z kids seem to. She's closest to my.
Sure.
I got the tail end of Gen Z right now in high school. A lot of them, or a number of them, know the difference, right? Okay, I got to get off the phone, or the phone needs to be put away,
Right.
and I can live without. I can name kids that do not use their phone whatsoever, and some students, fortunately or unfortunately, don't have a phone.
Right.
So I wonder now if we get this cell phone thing taken care of. Right. Number one, what's going to be the next problem? But 2, is that when we're going to see more engagement in class, more willingness to participate, more willingness to speak to your partner? I don't think the kids have an isolation, a siloing problem.
Okay.
I think it's the fact that there's a lot more interesting things going on that phone than math, science, reading.
And I want to get into that. I want to get into that and your calls after the break.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between 2 people is a smile.
Thank you.
Strack and Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
For over 100 years, Roofers Local 26 has been keeping Northwest Indiana dry and safe. Since 1919, our highly trained members have built a reputation for skills, safety, and reliability. With a 4-year apprenticeship and certifications in OSHA safety, first aid, and CPR, we deliver quality you can trust. When you need roofing done right, choose Roofers Local 26, protecting what matters most for over a century. For more information, visit www.roofers26.com.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
Introducing Powers Health, a health system with a new name and a strong legacy of caring for families in our community. One with a tradition of advanced specialized services and a vision for the future. One with a commitment to medical excellence and compassionate care. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
8:24 in the region. That noise you hear is Larry the Kid getting his headset on.
Yes.
He's getting,
because I forgot
Yeah.
some of the rules of broadcast.
well, I miss a couple of them. It's a gentle correction over the break.
Right.
So we've got some calls waiting. So let's take a caller. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Good morning, but I don't even. Who am I calling? I've been on hold for 2 hours.
Oh, this is Sears. Sears Roebuck. Can we help
This
you?
is Bargain Bonanza on WJLP.
Menswear?
Go
I
ahead.
want to order a pizza.
What size is your head?
I wanted to
Hello.
speak to Chuck.
Chuck's
I want to
here.
speak
Hold
to
on.
Chuck.
Hold on. Let me go get Chuck.
Hang on.
Hey, Chuck.
Thank you.
Hello.
Oh, Chuck's here. Go
I'm just
ahead,
getting out of
ma'am.
the shower. Hang on. Let me grab a towel.
Tell him about all the things you need now.
Go ahead. What's going on? How are you this morning?
As long as he don't pull the stuff that Jed pulls. Oh my God. Anyway.
I've seen Chuck pull a lot of things in his
Chuck-
life. You know.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Not compared
Come
to
on.
Jed. Not compared to Jed. Chuck, this is Laura. Do you remember me talking to you last Monday about the drug overdose?
Yes, I
And
absolutely do. I've been thinking
did
about you this
message
week.
you.
Yeah. Oh, you messaged me?
Oh.
I got to check my phone. Okay.
I
Yeah.
did.
Okay. Go ahead.
That's all I wanted.
What's that? So you message me on Facebook?
Yeah, on Messenger. There's like, did you know how many Chuck Pullins there are?
Oh, they're all me though.
But,
yeah, it's all Chuck.
All
He's got 20 profiles.
Because I get in trouble occasionally.
That's how he
well,
rolls.
it says we have 3 friends, so I figured one of the 10 that I requested would answer, and no one's answered.
Hang on,
but,
let me look.
the
I will look right now on the air. But go ahead. I will look. Let me see if I can find you.
I didn't know you were a Facebook engineer, Chuck.
I'm not. I'm just learning
how
the Instagram.
else do you get to be a friend of us? Okay, I don't hang out with you guys. Okay, sorry.
I wasn't knocking you.
So make sure you find the Chuck Pullen and the dapper gentleman in the suit, and there's also one where I'm wearing a white shirt. So the one with me in a black suit and blue shirt, that's the one to send it to.
That was his wedding photo.
That was my St. John economic development photo.
Oh, nice.
I had a gavel and everything.
You're on the economic development. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you are.
Do
You're
you know
kind of a
of
big
all
wig,
the
aren't
things? Do you know of all the things I have to do? Now I have to chase you down.
Well, yeah.
You have more than one.
Well, it's a good
profile?
thing for you that Chuck doesn't run. Not fast or slow. He just doesn't run.
How dare you?
What?
You're right. I'm just saying. Okay. But yes, no, I've been thinking about your call. I was thinking about you after our call the other day. And so, and I was telling somebody the other day, I said, you're the kind of person, I hope you start thinking about getting involved in politics and things like that, because we need...
Me?
Yes, you.
Me?
Go run for something. Okay.
Listen. Okay, I have been doing my addiction group for 10 years. Before that, I was out advocating, okay? I've been... Marilyn Frey was amazing. Mm-hmm. I did events with her. I did events with Bernard Carter and stuff like that. But it comes to a point to where you're chasing your child so much and raising the other ones that you do what you can. But there is a lot of stigma. I've approached McDermott. I have been out there doing the footwork, but these feet are tired. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I understand.
But but the grace of God, like I told you, my son is 19 months now. He was here yesterday, clean. And it just look, I had to, the coroner's office did call me and say that I couldn't release the name and numbers, so I had to redo it. But it's 120 for the whole year last year. Okay. And plus the drugs are named, but it just.
So are these mostly fentanyl, or what are they attributed to?
Oh my God, fentanyl is always going to be around, but some of the drugs I had to look up. I've never heard of, but you have the carfentanil that can put down an elephant. You have bromazepam, which is a designer for Xanax, but it's much more potent.
Oh, really? Okay.
Melatonin, which is another veterinarian.
Those does, yeah. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Melatonin, which these are hard to pronounce. Some of them are 20 letters, is a sedation, but an in sedation is 100 to 200 times stronger than xylene. And I don't know if you've heard of xylene, which is also a veterinarian drug that's really making it really bad in all areas. Xylene, yes. You still have the meth out there. There's so much that I can't even list. I've never heard of. I've had to look all these up. I did a spreadsheet, but I'm still not done with it.
So why don't you do me a favor? Why don't I want to see all that. I'd love to see that. I'd love to know more about that. So you can just email me. It's just literally my name at Gmail. So chuck.pullen@gmail. I'd love to see that research and dig into that a little bit, because I think, again, I was saying the other day, these are things that we don't talk about, but it's affecting families that we have. I mean, again, and put the politics aside, it's affecting real people. I've gone to funerals, people here in Hammond, it's a tragic thing. And, we sort of, there's taboos about these, so we don't talk about them. Even in the media, we would ignore these deaths, and we'd have situations like in Chicago where you'd have a bad batch of heroin going around, and all people were literally, all summer dropping dead, and we just didn't talk about it. So,
Chuck,
yeah,
there has been 3 mass overdoses in the last 9 days. One was in Knoxville, Tennessee. The other one was Boston, and the other one was Indianapolis.
You say mass overdoses? You say like mass?
Masses, yes,
okay.
Meaning more than 3 or 4. Yeah, wow. Okay. So I have that, like on my group, I post this stuff, and it's like the drugs and the drugs and the drugs, and some of these are just so new that I have to look them up, and a lot of this are, it's just because we think that the overdoses are down. They're down to 120. That's because of the fentanyl that is aware out there, that it is so readily to people. There's so many, just like vending machines.
Well, the Narcan, the vending machines, right? That's definitely had an appreciable impact on overdose deaths. Yeah, but again, are we educating people about that as well? I mean, I couldn't tell you where the nearest vending machine is or how to obtain it if I needed to.
Why? That's very easy. We have a great sponsor and a great advocate that she lost her son from Indianapolis. And it's Overdose Lifeline, and you just go in there and bring up the area code in Indiana, and it'll tell you where to get them.
Overdose Lifeline, okay.
Griffith Police Department has a Narcan machine. That's just one place, okay? This is several, okay? But, any questions, just let me know. You know
Absolutely.
What I'm saying?
I want you to email me. I definitely want to stay in touch because I want to know more about this. Like I said, I know families that have gone through this, and it's one of those things where, you don't know much about it until it affects your family, and that's an unfortunate thing.
Well, exactly.
And so, it's definitely something that we need to talk more about. So I appreciate you checking back in with me. Email me, and I want to stay in touch with you. Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, appreciate it. Take care. Bye. Okay, so that's one of the things I really go ahead. No, these are not call. These are people that did call. So we cleared the board. The boat is empty.
All right.
So that's people that have called, and she can put notes in about them.
Oh, I see.
So if they call back, you can see the notes about them. But that's one of the things I like doing here on the radio is trying to talk about topics that are, and so we've been talking about. She was doing FOIAs about overdose deaths and what's causing them and things like that. But again, people don't talk about that until it affects them, and by then it's too late.
Pretty much.
Okay, so let's get back to where we were talking. What were we talking about?
It's 8:30 WJOB, 12:30
You don't have
a.m.
to only at the top of the hour.
I don't care anymore.
It's fine, but you can do it at the bottom.
What else do you want to talk about? I don't know. Let's take some callers.
No, it's good.
Man.
We got a caller, so we can take that.
Yeah, let's take him.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. Who's ready for Larry the K?
Oh, my God.
Who's
it's
ready?
Stan Stefanski, Big Frank Sausage. You're still a sponsor here,
What's
babe.
up, Larry?
How you doing? Stan? Good to see you. Good to hear you.
Good. I got a serious question.
Okay.
We're talking about cell phones and teenagers. All
Sure.
right. So I'm an employer, and
Yes.
I deal with teenagers. And
Yes.
one of my questions is this, and you were with them all day long. In your opinion, do you think the cell phones diminish their social skills and how to talk to adults and to communicate when they get corrected?
Well, I think partially, yes. Partially. I don't think it's all of it.
Okay.
We have to look and see how the child, what is the child exhibiting just from being raised at home? If the kid, the part-time worker is friendly and outgoing, well, you're an employer, Stan. You have experience. You should know that they should probably be okay with things. When you're interviewing the kid and they don't respond much, blah, 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 what do? Do you hire them because you need a warm body, or are you able to go look for something else? But to your question, yes, I think it does diminish the social skills. I do see that when I'm out but I think that's for adults too. I mean, my God, I'm sitting around with my contemporaries here, peers, all people my age. And it just seems like anytime there's a lull in the conversation, at least two in the group are whipping those cell phones out to see what's happening. And for me...
Yeah, what it is people are killing time. Yeah.
It's killing time instead of sitting around and having that pregnant pause or somebody keeping the conversation going. I see it all around. I would say, to answer you, yes, in some ways. Not the entire problem, though.
So the reason I'm asking this question is because, when I correct mainly teenagers, it's like 50% of them look at me like a deer in the headlights, like, why am I getting corrected? I can't believe I'm getting corrected. And the other 50% like, okay, I'll improve, and I try to put myself in their shoes when I was their age. And when my boss corrected me, I would be like, yeah, I screwed up. I'm going to improve, and I won't do it again. But I would say something to my employer like, I'm sorry, I won't have to. I noticed that I don't.
So let me expand on that a little bit. So basically,
I don't get that response from them.
Well, so what Stan's talking about, and what a lot of people, business owners and things like that, are basically saying that younger people do not take correction well, or they basically take offense to it.
Some.
Well, I'm just saying it. So basically, there are people that if you try to correct them, they take it they take offense to it. It hurts their feelings. They basically, it's like, no, I'm trying to correct
But I
you.
can name just as many adults who do that too. Yeah.
Well, so the question is, are more younger people having trouble taking correction, whether it's from a teacher or an employer? Are you seeing more of that?
I don't think so.
You don't
I
think so?
it's the same. I don't know. I just think at times how do I want to? It's cyclical. I think it's cyclical. We see flare-ups of this every so often. I mean, the cell phones, that adds an unknown, an X factor to it, you know, for the general insolence of the teenage group. It's frustrating, man. I go through similar in my classroom. You know, you kind of got to figure out who's mature enough, who will take it. Okay, obviously, Johnny, this isn't working with you. You know, let's try something else before you have to be taken out of the class, etc. I get what you're saying, Steve.
Okay, so Stan,
you've talked about this before.
Before you go ahead.
Well, my big thing is when especially when I get a new hire and they're a teenager, the first thing I tell them when I interview them is, you're not going to be on your phone getting paid to text. You have to learn the position. And then I will give them leeway once in a while if they know the position, they're doing good, etc. I get it. You want to get on your phone. But when people are learning something new, they get distracted with social media texting, and they're not giving you their 100% focus. And that's my concern with the phones. And you're right, it's adults too. It's not only the teenagers. I see it all the time.
Hey, before you go, Stan, tell everybody what's going on tomorrow.
Ooh, what do you got tomorrow, Stan?
Tomorrow is Fat Tuesday. Tuesday. Nice. You can get your Punchki orders in at Big Frank Sausage, 219-378-9556. Fat Tuesday, and then Wednesday is the start of Lent Ash Wednesday. But, yeah, we will have Punchki here tomorrow.
Okay, I'm going to put me down. My wife is allergic to orange juice, which apparently is an ingredient. But put me down for some cherry. I'll text you. Put me down for like a half dozen cherry.
You want 4 dozen? You said 4 dozen, Chuck?
No, I'm on a diet. Just give me down.
His wife just texted me. Make it 5.
Okay.
I'll double the life insurance and put him down for 5.
Said the life insurance was re-signed.
So, hey, thank you. Appreciate the call. I know this is an issue for you as a small business owner. You and I talk about this a lot, so I appreciate you chiming in on this. So thanks for the call, Stan. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Be safe.
Okay, so Fat Tuesday coming up. Don't forget that. Get your Punchki orders.
Man, oh man.
No, they don't have a lot. They don't.
You got to go to Van. Is Van Til still a sponsor?
But yes, this is the Strachan Van Til Food Market Studio, but they don't have cherry punchki. So
hey, so you got to compromise, man.
So
go get a lemon.
They have apricot.
That's what you need. You need.
I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it.
Dude, I'm looking, man. That looks like a hernia, or you got some blockage there, man. I'm not sure.
Come on, be nice.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Prune.
Well, you could. Tell people you lost how much weight.
Well,
if we're going to do that,
total, we could do that. From 406 to 214, so that's just about 180 some pounds.
Fantastic.
And I've been with the winter and so on, and admittedly less activity in the last year, I've been hovering around 240.
Okay.
So not too bad.
That's still a good place to be. That's where I'm trying to get down to that.
I tell you, you gotta do it before you have to, Chuck.
It gets harder every year,
You have
right?
to. I mean, you saw how big I was. You saw how hard it was for me to move around.
Right.
And I still plowed through. I still did things, right? But I'd be dead today if I hadn't.
Right.
I firmly believe a couple months shy of 54, I'd be dead.
Well, kudos to you for doing that.
Do it. All it takes. I see you bowling. I saw some video of you bowling. Is that?
But that's not exactly the most.
Well, it's movement.
It's moving. Yes, I stay moving.
You know.
So, but why don't we take a break and we'll chat some more after this.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
Are you sausage curious?
Who's ready for Polish?
Big Frank Sausage has the very best Polish food in the region.
You had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage?
We have a full bar, dine-in, carry-out, delivery, and catering available.
I've had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage.
I've got a mouthful of Big Frank sausage.
219-378-9556. Smacznego i na zdrowie.
Who's ready for Polish?
IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors bring the highest standard of electrical work to Lake County homes, schools, and businesses. From everyday fixes to once-in-a-lifetime builds, we don't just get the job done, we get it done right and up to the highest safety standards. When you need electrical work, hire the professionals who power Indiana. Powering Indiana, Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community.
Hey, we're back.
Here we are. AM 1230 WJOV 104.7 FM.
Larry makes me nervous, but
Boys,
okay.
and I just swore off the air, and
Yeah,
Chuck's
don't
getting
do
all
that.
paranoid.
I'm just saying, don't
He's
do
like,
that.
you should remember not to do that in
Don't-
the
if
studio
you
with
cur-
hot mics.
If you curse with a
Filth and
headphone
foul
on,
and
Lynette's like that too. She has a trucker mouth. You should hear her
no,
when it breaks.
no.
You should hear her when I screw up. She just starts throwing things and cursing at me. I'm like, man,
Get out.
Yeah, it was always the quiet ones.
You just need a dump button that'll get rid of your frustration.
Well, and
trust
Bob
me.
bought one. It's like a foot switch though, and I'm like, yeah.
Right. See, that's what I need.
I was looking for.
That's
We
what
gotta
I
get some
need.
of those. But
Yeah.
so we
I
are
wanna talk
taking.
to you. Anyway,
okay,
go ahead.
so it is. You know the number. It's 219-845. Been this number for 50 years
is
now.
the magic number. 219-845-1100. You call.
So we have one
anywhere
call. So you see the middle there. So we
from
got
the
a call.
United States. All right, let's see who it is. Who this? It's
Hi,
nobody.
this is Dave from Crown Point.
We were just talking about
just
you.
talking about you, David.
He was asking. He's asking when you're going to call in. So
I said, when is Dave from Crown Point going to call in?
Hey, it's an honor to be able to speak to the better-looking Kyleman.
Oh, yeah,
If you
Dave
know what
works
I
with
mean.
my brother.
Oh, I was gonna
Yes,
say, I was
yes.
like,
no,
I'm
my
not sure
my
who you're-
brother is far handsomer than me. I've aged into a fine leather catcher's mitt, and he still has some tightness to the skin there. I think he moisturizes, like you.
No, you
How's that
are-
tight skin
your
over your
voice
muscles
would love-
going there? How's that?
You don't worry about that. You don't worry about
You still browner than a chocolate
now,
cookie?
Is it open? Jealous. Hey,
Not
is this
really.
open Mike Monday or what? Is there a topic, or do we got to stay with the
No,
topic?
whatever.
Oh no!
No.
Anything
This
you
is
want
a
to
free-
talk about,
this is a
Dave?
free-for-all,
Anything
like
you
a-
want to talk about,
every
whether
Monday.
it's real or not?
Is that Jewish D-Lo in there? Can I just kind of
No. Hold on. Now, why is he Jewish all of a sudden? I've known Jim Deedlow most of my life. He's been a good Catholic boy. I didn't ask if there was anything wrong with it. That was just a very interesting adjective for you to use.
Is he around or no? 'Cause
No, he's actually quite thin. I'm around.
Don't summon him. It's been quiet around here.
Right? Yeah, he's on the chat board. He's
What
on the
about
chat board.
Sharky? Is Sharky?
He's on a
Sharky still
he's
there?
on a call as well. I don't know if he left or what happened. He was on a call. He's on
I brought a dozen donuts.
Oh,
out
did
there.
you?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
From
Thank you.
from Strachan Van Til,
Okay.
Elmira's.
All right, well,
yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, you still
Let
there?
me cut to the chase because I got to free up this phone line. Yeah,
Yeah, you got to go to work. You got to go to work and take my money.
Yep.
Don't
even start, Larry.
So I want to know,
Larry,
with that
I know
500%, with that 500% delivery charge increase, did you get a 500% raise in your check?
So my question is to all the. It's more geared towards Deedlo, but you know these elected officials. They
No,
all
wait,
have
is
their
that the regular
legacy they have
Deedlo
to
or the
establish.
Jewish Deedlo?
He is Jewish. You confirmed it then.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right,
so
at
all
any
these
rate, I
elected
digress.
officials, go ahead. Yeah, digress. Go
The
ahead.
elected officials, they all have to have they all have to establish their own legacy before they leave office and leave a scorched earth path of destruction.
What is it
We
going to
all
be?
know
The Trump
what
NISOR Center now? Oh, go ahead. What?
We all know what Visklowski's is. It's that train It could be argued that Sharky's is that beautiful gas main project that ran up along Harrison.
So the Bob Starkey gas main project, that's what it's going to be named?
The Bob Starkey's gas. That went down went down phenomenally about 5 years ago. That was oversaw by a certain foreman on that project that made sure everything got done correctly. But let's get back to Dietlow. Dietlow's uncle, our cousin, was a former mayor of Hammond, right?
Mm-hmm. Right,
yeah.
Dwayne. Yeah,
yeah, Dwayne. Yeah.
I guess since we're talking about legacies, I guess it could be argued that Lost Marsh Golf Course would be Dwayne Dietlow's legacy. It was his goal to get that thing built. As beautiful as it is, he got it done. I don't know what the cost overruns were on it, but nonetheless, would you guys agree? Would Lost Marsh be Dwayne Dietlow's?
That's very nice.
Legacy? I could say it's part of it. Having lived in the city for part of Dwayne Dietlow's mayoral reign, yeah, sure, why not?
Hell, they named a street after him over there. So with that being said, Chicago Bears thinking about moving to Northwest Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
How big of a slap in the face would it be to Dwayne Dietlow and his legacy if McDermott sent D6 bulldozers to bulldoze that golf course and that clubhouse, only to put a Chicago Bears?
So let me explain to Larry,
because
the blueprint right now, and also that means the PAV goes as well, correct?
Yeah, they want to put it all over there.
But again, you just spent what 15 or $20 million on the PAV, and you're going to tear that out too. I mean,
it's only money.
It's $1 billion among friends.
So you're asking, would Dwayne Dietlow be upset if the clubhouse were to be bowled over?
I think yes.
Oh, maybe you should ask Dwayne Dietlow. I don't know. I ain't talked to the guy in years.
Because that's I would love to talk to him about it. Unfortunately, he's inaccessible, as is, you're saying, the Jewish Jim Dietlow.
Well, why don't you find out which church he's a deacon at and go talk to Jesus for a little bit?
Okay.
Don't storm it, though. Comparison. I guess if a Republican ever got elected to mayor in Hammond and started tearing down all the bike bridges, I'm curious to see what McDermott's position would be on that.
Hey, don't steal my first campaign promise.
Hold on. Now, hold on, Dave. Now, since you live in Crown Point and don't vote or pay taxes in Hammond, I guess we'll have to wait to see if we get a Republican challenger.
Okay,
that's not altogether, Larry. That's not altogether true with the Little Calumet River tax and all these other redistribution of wealth taxes that we're paying in South County to help provide for North County. So yeah, just because I live in Crown Point doesn't mean I don't support.
But you do bring up an important point.
And I did say property tax.
Is that somebody like Larry? And I don't know if you go to the PAV. I'm sure you go there occasionally for shows.
Yeah,
it's a very beautiful.
My bike through there.
You
I use the bike. I
use
the
bike bridge.
Chuck.
You're the guy that uses the bike trail.
Go
You're
ahead,
the guy.
slap
That's
my hand.
fine.
I use the bike.
I saw 2 people on that bike bridge over the weekend. You
should be the third.
I could. I want to go out there and count with you on a Saturday morning. We'll count.
Chuck, you don't even have to get a nice big get a trike.
Hey, the conversation's getting boring. I gotta go.
Okay, see ya.
Well, I love you too. But so my point is that there's this plan in place to remove the Lost Marsh, remove probably your bike path. remove the PAV,
I saw. Yeah. I would
would
be as a resident of the city of Hammond, I would be a little upset if that happened because I am one of the users of that.
Right, and that becomes the question: again the trade-offs of is it worth it? Is it worth it to Hammond?
As it sits right now, I don't think so. Then again, I'm about as connected to it as you are. Right.
Well, and that was always my joke. I said, even like in Indianapolis, we paid $100 million for that roof that doesn't work. And again, I never.
At Lucas Oil.
Yeah, so we spent. We spent hundreds. I said, when you do your taxes,
boy, just think what that would have done for the schools.
Transformational, Larry. Transformational.
It's transformational. Any more callers here?
There are.
Bring them on in. Come on, let's do it.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. It's me again.
Hey, me. How are you?
Who's this?
It's Trucker Mike.
Oh, Trucker Mike. Yes.
Another Hammond resident.
How you feeling, man?
I'm doing good. Hey, I got a question for y'all. It was on the news the other day. Our Pope from Chicago, that's in the Vatican, Rome, he likes hot dogs. And guess what they said? The only thing he puts on a hot dog is mustard.
My God, that's
the original
terrible.
way you're supposed to.
Oh.
That's the
so he's right.
You look up the thing.
Right. I'm a Maxwell Street guy myself, so I don't blame him.
Yeah, if you look it up, original hot dog, the only thing you're really supposed to put on it is mustard. You know. But now let's Stan called in a minute about them cell phones, because Sunday morning I had that situation happen to me. I'm at a restaurant, and I'm sitting there. I order. I time how long because I got one more survey to do. I was in the restaurant, and I make sure I see who my waitress is weighing on me. And she weighed on me, and I get my food, and la-di-da-da, I'm doing my survey. Well, I'm done eating. And what am I doing? I'm watching where she's at. She's got her phone doing something on her phone. And I looked at my watch, my phone, when I was finished and looked at her waiting to bring my bill over. It took 10 minutes. She was almost on that phone for 10 minutes and finally brought my bill to me.
Oh, my God.
And guess what? People like that, I don't leave tips, and I'll never go back
Not
to
at
that
all.
restaurant again.
No, never at all. Just because of one waitress.
Hey, Mike, we gotta finish up a few things, so I appreciate the call.
Thanks for the call, Mike.
But, I mean, he brings up a valid point. It's, again, like Stan said, balance. You can use your phone, but have some balance. So let's take that last call, and then we got to talk about the biggest issue going on in the country right now in just a moment. So good morning, caller. You're on the air.
This is Aunt Phyllis, and I've got lefty sausage in my mouth.
Anybody want to chime in?
All right.
Okay, thank you, caller. Okay, you ready?
Try some mustard.
Larry.
What?
Larry. Larry the K.
He said he's
Before we
got
go.
some sausage. She said, whatever.
Former President Obama.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Hold on. Uh-huh.
He was on the Brian Tyler Cohen podcast last week.
Mm-hmm.
He was asked about aliens, and he said, aliens are real.
Obama said that.
He said, aliens are real, but I haven't seen them.
Mm-hmm.
He also expounded on that and talked about how they're not at Area 51. But our former president came out, and again, this is nothing new because he actually talked about this a little bit on an appearance on Jay Leno years and years ago.
Right.
Our former president came out and said, aliens are real. Thoughts? And I assume he means the outer space kind, but I don't think he clarified.
Well,
I assume.
Well,
we know
boy, aren't we topical today?
Just saying. Okay, what are your thoughts?
If anybody would know, I would say certainly the president would know these things. I did catch a related blurb that the current president will be releasing some files concerning more files concerning UFO and admitting to the existence of. World leaders were also mentioned in this same article too, and this isn't this is out of a actual news source.
Oh, there's actually been Senate hearings recently about UFOs, yes.
It wouldn't surprise me.
So there's a lot of interesting discussion.
It'd be frightening.
Well, why
Don't
is
get
that?
me wrong. Well, it's the unknown, Chuck.
Of
There's
course.
always a healthy fear of
Well,
the unknown.
and so there's the argument of I had a pastor on recently. We were talking about that during the UFO hearings. I said there are people that have said that if we reveal the existence of UFOs, that people will no longer believe in religion and all sorts of crazy, things like that.
Likely.
And that's a possibility.
Likely.
Or you'd say, well, aliens are a child of God just like we are.
Likely.
And
why not? So what would you think, Chuck? So aliens are real. Now, are we talking the grays, the greens, or the lizard
all
folk?
of them. The lizard people. Hopefully the lizard people are
I just
real.
saw your left eye kind of.
Yeah, no, the lizard. Oh,
yeah, you had that third eyelid thing going.
And we have the Nephilim. We were talking about the Nephilim.
Don't worry, the Nephilim.
Yeah.
Those are the giants.
Yes.
Those were the
But
giants
they are
that
the
went into women.
Right.
The offspring of the offspring of angels, angelic beings, and female humans.
Right.
The giants of the Nephilim of old.
So you have
Book of Genesis. Yes.
Yes. Or the Book of Enoch that we don't talk about much.
Well, it's not approved by either church. However, yeah, I think that would be very interesting. It would explain some people's behaviors. Now, like they act as if they're aliens and don't know these things, certain things about the human race. I think it would be frightening. It would cause quite a bit of controversy around the world, I'm sure, should empirical proof be given and whatnot.
So here becomes an interesting question.
Yes,
if
aliens, dude.
If the president were to have a press conference tomorrow, half of this country probably wouldn't believe him and say you're just distracting from the Epstein files.
Okay, so
I'm saying that becomes a question.
here, let's just flip it. So we get there's let's just say Obama is in office.
Yeah.
Or Harris or Hillary, whatever. Let's just put Democrat X in there.
Yeah.
more people believe it?
No.
Okay,
the other half
so
wouldn't
there it
believe
is.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that's my point.
I mean, the current guy's proven himself to be a bit of an exaggerator, and that's putting it lightly.
That'd be the question. So he's like, hey, by the way, there's aliens coming or something. Like, no, we don't believe you.
Is he falling asleep while he's standing up saying
not
this?
sure.
Okay, I just checking.
Okay, she got Lynette
Who's
says we got
Nori? What do we got?
we
5
got
more
one
minutes
more
here?
call, and we got
What's on next? What's on at 9?
what do we have at? We have a 9 o'clock. Nope. Okay, I got to get on a call. Is what happens. At 9
Oh,
o'clock,
okay, yeah.
so
Let's do
Let's
it.
take our last caller. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, how's it going? It's Brad. What's up?
How are you, sir?
Mr. Gimbal.
Speaking
How are you,
of
sir?
aliens.
Well, I mean, you got us. This is huge. I think Obama's full of it. I don't think that I'm not buying the aliens. I'm with you on that side of it, Chuck. I mean, if you want something really interesting, why aren't they talking about like Tartarian Empire and how these buildings are all over the country,
man,
in
Brad,
the United States, and there's no.
Brad, I had
yeah,
a student come up to me last week and ask me about the Tartarian Empire.
I went down-
I actually had to go look it up.
I went down that YouTube rabbit hole of the mud floods.
Oh
and
my!
all this stuff.
Yep,
Yeah, it's very interesting.
That
stuff.
is some interesting stuff right there, sir.
Ground zero is LaGrange, Illinois, in a church. It's going to be right here, folks. LaGrange,
Really?
Illinois.
I will Google that.
Yeah, and absolutely. And speaking of Obama, didn't our press secretary come out last week and say that on a Friday, because they always do it on a Friday. You got to
Friday afternoon data dumps.
Entertainment for the week. Yeah, that's right. They do the entertainment for the weekend. But, I mean, is it clearly, she said, now nearly 10 years later, thanks to the declassification of documents by the Director of National Intelligence, the truth has finally come to light, and it will vindicate Trump and his family that Barack Obama, along with his entire administration, conspired to overthrow the United States government in 2016. Why the hell is nobody been talking about this from what happened on Friday?
That's the current press secretary saying that, or this minute? Caroline Levitt saying that?
Yeah.
Right. So this is the part where we say half of this country won't believe what she says, regardless of the evidence.
So 10 years ago, all these...
Yeah, so who do you believe?
Well, hold on. I still have a problem with Trump's, I'm going to call it Schrodinger's Democrat. It is both clever and sneaky
Trump?
enough.
Well,
hold on
You're
here.
pulling a D-blow. Go ahead.
Man.
I just have to ask. It's Democrats are both too smart and too clever to perpetuate this thing over the American public for decades. Yet Democrats are all stupid.
Well, hang on. Let me digress.
So which is it?
Let me digress before Brad. I have a friend who says that same thing about government. He says the government is either everything is a conspiracy, but they're also too dumb to pull off a conspiracy.
It is now.
So that becomes a question. It's like the same government that can't do anything right is also behind some of the biggest conspiracies.
Yeah.
It becomes Schrodinger's government. So okay, go ahead, Brad.
So that's what I'm asking.
They want you to think. Yeah, they want you to think that they're stupid. That's the main thing. They want you to think the government is worthless and they're dumb and they charge too much money. But they're all working together, and it is so organized. It always has been. I mean, Lake County, Indiana is unbelievable. I grew up in a political environment, let's just say, and my Lord, the stuff that hasn't even ever been talked about. Man, one day on my deathbed, wait till I say some things. But this is huge, and I'm sorry, you guys. This has been a great conversation, no matter the problems you had earlier in the show. But this is humongous. If this is true, I mean, this is insane. If the Epstein files are true, this is insanity. I mean, what are we going to do here? There's no way. If all of them are guilty, and all of them are in on it, and all the Democrats wanted the Epstein files, and now they find out half of them are in it, and the Republicans have been denying it because they know they're in it. What do we do with the people like us, Chuck, that are in the middle and see all
So
that?
real quick, I just got a text from Trucker Mike, and he says maybe the SAVE Act is to prevent aliens from voting in our next election. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe the aliens are going to come down and try to vote, but we need to make sure they don't have IDs.
I'll end it with this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll end it with this. Guy on Joe Rogan totally blew the space station out of whack there. You got all kinds of problems with the video feed from it. So is anybody even up there? Is that thing even up there? That's the big one that's going to happen. That's the big one that's going to happen. That's going to be the hardest one because that really boils down to people's hearts of you can escape this place through space, but don't go on the ISS.
Hey, Brad, we're going back to the moon soon. Don't forget that.
What about Jeff Bezos?
We're going, Chuck, I bought you front row. Bezos. Jeff Bezos and his fake space capsule with Katy Perry out there singing in high octaves. Yeah, we're in space.
Well, it was better than doing a morning show from this thing.
Okay, on that note, Brad, we got to go.
Have a good one, you guys.
It is 9 o'clock.
You got to have a great week.
In the region.
See you, Brad.
Go ahead. You can do it. It's 9 o'clock. Go ahead.
It's 9 o'clock in the Calumet region, ladies and gentlemen. AM 1230 WJOB 104.7 FM. The voice and face.
But hang on. We're not. Go ahead. But we're not going out on that one now. We're going to say bye first. So.
Of the region.
Thank you. We're doing the legal ID. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me. I will do this again at my
Every
next
holiday.
available Monday.
Send me a text.
It's so nice to be here in the old studio. You know, it's been 14 years, Chuck, since Stephen Glover, the preacher, passed.
Mm-hmm.
And just, what is today? The 17th. 16th, yes. So he passed on the 12th, I believe.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Last week.
Yeah.
It's nice to be back here in the studio doing this. It was nice. Getting to experience Purdue Cal was nice.
Mm-hmm.
That area, nice new area, but this is home.
Right.
This is home for the station. This is home for your local radio. And everybody who passed through here, myself included, and are lucky enough to come back and, kind of help out. I enjoy it. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
Making that stroll down memory lane. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you, Bob, wherever you may be.
Bob.
Oh, Bob. He's going to wander. Is the show over? Okay, thank you, Lynette.
Thank you, Lynette. It was very enjoyable.
We will be
doing
back.
a fine job.
We'll be back next week with some stuff may work, some stuff may not work.
You never know.
Tune in on Monday to see what's working and what's not here on WJOB.
Or tomorrow and see if it's still working.
Maybe
Yes.
it's not working.
You
Have a
never
great
know.
week. Thank you so much. Take care. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Ogren Insurance, Hammond's oldest family-owned independent insurance agency, now in its third generation providing clients in the Chicago area with products from quality insurance companies to handle your every need. Regardless of driving history, Ogren Insurance can find the right coverage for you at competitive prices. To learn more about the insurance